Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists.
Whoopsie.
Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up. F around and find out.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what. Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
Hey, how we doing, folks?
How you doing?
Hi.
We tired today?
Some bad news.
I'm
Rebecca
tired
left
today,
the
yes.
show. She's not here anymore. Let's get that out of the way. All right, how's everybody doing?
As is tradition.
Yes. We should probably consider moving the time to 6/9 EST to make it better for her and also for myself. It's so hard to get here at 5:30.
If we're doing 9 o'clock, I'm doing an hour show and leaving. We're not going any fucking later than this. Are you out of your mind?
No, I don't think we should go later. It's still a long show, hour and a half. That's pretty good. We're late anyway.
Oh, right, we're shortening the show. Okay, I could do that.
I mean, we're late every week anyway. I feel like we all just would be better suited if we started a half hour later. I don't know though.
I'm never late, so I'm not sure what the hell you're talking about. I am always on time.
Well, late in terms of starting.
Yeah, because you're all late. I'm here at the same
flexible.
time every week.
I'm easy. I'm like Sweden. I'm like church on Sunday morning.
Yeah, because you're on the West Coast, you lucky motherfucker, both of you.
Yeah, because I'm on
No,
West Coast.
East Coast is so much luckier. If you do news and politics, you get up earlier, you get all the news first, you get that jump on your day, the head start. I think that the East Coast has it privileged. Like they've got it better. You're privileged. You have East Coast.
No, I wake up and I wait for news to happen till like 1 p.m. and then news finally happens and then I cover it.
Except in other parts of the world. When it's somewhere else, it happens overnight usually, so we get it right away. We get that stuff.
That's true. I get up and I'm trying to play catch up. It's very difficult.
Oh yeah, as you play like Horrifying Simulator, that thing where you just go like this and get sadder and sadder and angrier and angrier the more time. That thing,
Why is this happening? Why? I don't get what's going on here. It's really
you freezing again?
Off. Yeah, I don't know why it's happening.
I just saw you freeze for a second. Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
I don't know what the hell's going on. Oh well. Anyway, I was saying, I don't know if I could do news. I don't know if I could do news if I was on the West Coast because so much happens before you even wake up.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. It's really difficult.
Nothing happens. What happened today? Nothing happened. There's no news. It's all the same.
It's just no
I mean, things are happening. It's just a matter of like, am I able to muster the shit to give? Because everything just feels like I'm kind of just going through the motions right now. I think we're kind of all feeling this fatigue because it's an election year and things are extra stupid.
Oh,
not that they're not
go,
regular.
I'm feeling it mostly because of genocide. That's mostly why I'm feeling fatigue.
Yeah.
The election is
work
kind
genocide balance.
If anything, this is like the least interesting election year I've ever covered for sure. That we know what's going to happen unless one of them die. So like beforehand. So it's not even really, it's not much of a, which is really rare. Like you don't, I mean, again, I have not covered this a long time, but how often do you know exactly who both candidates are going to be before any state even votes? That doesn't happen. There's always some kind of primary contest, and there just really isn't this time. I mean, there kind of is, but there's not really.
Yeah, we're going through the motions, but it's predetermined for the most part. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say, I understand where Mike's coming from, though, staying up all night. as a Nikki Haley supporter, wondering if she could pull off the impossible. I get it.
I've got a little bit of hope, but my girl can do it. Okay. I'm losing hope, but it's still there. There's a little bit left
for sure.
Oh, I love her. I think she's an absolute queen, and I have no choice but to stan her.
I mean, she handled that Breakfast Club interview perfectly. I mean,
I missed
who
that.
doesn't?
You haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't? Well, let's put it this way.
You should play some of the clips.
They're the worst with copyright stuff. Otherwise, I would.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Yeah,
we played it on the Majority Report. But
did you?
Yeah,
you'll get hit. They'll get hit.
I used to get hit when I tried to cover it, and I'm like, all right, fuck this place.
Yeah, I did it one time, got a massive copyright. I don't know if it was a strike, but it was like a block the video type bad situation.
Yeah, like the whole thing was taken. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, they asked her what she means by when she's saying that Kamala would be like the worst case or something like that. Clearly asking if it has to do with, Kamala being the first black woman vice president. So is the issue with Kamala is that she's black? Is that why she would be chaos if Kamala would be, president or something? And Nikki Haley, to prove she's not racist, immediately brings up Obama. Immediately. The question was about Kamala, and she's like, well, you have to understand, when Obama was president, that there was never any time more divisive. And it's like, oh, she's going there. She's she's doubling down on the racism right there.
Was she one of the spreaders of the birther conspiracy? Was she one of the people who did that?
Nikki Haley? I don't even know. Was she even in the limelight back in 2008?
She was a governor at some point before she became UN ambassador. I don't really remember. She's so like forgettable. Is the problem.
She's so always like in the background. Well, yeah, it's hard to really place her at any one year. It's like, what was she doing in 2014? I don't fucking know.
Like these other Republicans are memorable because they say stupid things and do stupid things, and you just never forget them, right? Like we all remember Todd Aiken from 2010, who was talking about the bodies will abort fetuses if it's a legitimate rape. Like they say things so stupid.
I remember that.
In your brain. Wow. Yeah, but Nikki Haley hasn't said something to that magnitude.
Yeah, but I don't know. She has. Like they say dumb shit all the fucking time, but there's so much of it that
every minute of TikTok you watch, you get 18% more anti-Semitic or something like that.
Yeah,
she's trying.
That's insane.
She's trying.
They say it's a ridiculous thing. She said she avoided saying that the Civil War was about slavery. Like she avoided.
That's true.
There's dumb shit all the time. That abortion comment would get lost now. It's just like that's like not a big deal. If someone said that today, it wouldn't be a big deal at all. Like there are literal Nazis like in positions of power in at least state level governments. I'm sure that
the
there
racist
also is.
window is so far right now in terms of what you can say openly and then be okay with it. It's not career ending. It's just like, oh wow, they're just saying this right now. Okay, yeah. Apparently, black pilots are less skilled because they're black. That's just a talking point that everyone's okay with and comfortable. Like just saying
that was completely insane that Charlie Kirk said that, and it was that was like. That but made some headlines. Mediaite maybe covered that, but like that's not really news.
And everyone who saw that on the right defended him. Jordan Peterson, Matt Walsh, every single Tim Pool, they all defended him. And something that before they wouldn't want to touch just because, I mean, obviously that's explicit racism. They're like, no. He said DEI, so he played the DEI card, so it's not racist. They're so like to say it's mask off is such an understatement because they've gone mask off a long time ago. But they're just like really comfortable being explicitly racist now. So Marjorie Greene today introduced the resolution to censure Ilhan Omar. And in her video talking about this, she's like, yeah, if it were up to me, I would deport her. You have Ron DeSantis saying we should deport her, denationalize her. You have Troy Nehls, a Republican congressman, calling Cori Bush's husband a thug and basically saying that she deserves all of the harassment that she gets because she's loud, invoking the angry black woman trope. They're just openly racist at this point, and it's normalized.
The start of her speech where she was like, Ilhan Omar from Somalia. I'm sorry, don't
right.
I was like, oh my god, wow.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. I have a video on this tomorrow. That's why it's been at the top of my mind. It's all manufactured bullshit just to smear black members of Congress. Like with Ilhan Omar, the whole reason why Republicans were up in arms and calling for her deportation, not that they didn't already want to, but they just had like what they thought was a justification, was she was in a room, or she was speaking to Somalians, and it wasn't in English, so it was translated very poorly by somebody on Twitter who purports to be the ambassador to Somaliland, which is a region that's trying to break away with Somalia. And Ilhan Omar is on the opposite side of that territorial dispute. She does not support that. She wants a unified Somalia. So this ambassador shared a video of her and mistranslated it purposefully to make it seem as if she's saying, "Oh, we in the United States, we control Somalia controls what they want to do, and we're Somalia first, Muslims second, and stuff like that." And then that account tagged all racist Republicans like Tucker Carlson, Charlie Kirk, and of course it went viral.
That's how they all found it. I didn't know that part of the story.
Yeah. Somaliland's ambassador tagged them all, and they got what they wanted, and Republicans ran
it's all
with
over
it.
the Daily Caller today. I saw every pundit doing like episodes on it, all using the mistranslation too. And like when you see the real translation, it's wild how much like it's all taken out of context.
Yeah, and she even said, she's like, because there's an African studies professor who's like, okay, it seems like what they're saying here is slanted. And then she responded, like, it's not just slanted, like, this is they're just slandering me. I'm paraphrasing what she said, but she's saying, like, listen, I did not say this, okay? Because I think that if she said something like that, maybe she would be like, okay, well, here's what I meant. But it's straight up a mischaracterization of what she said. But they're taking that and running with it because they already thought, man, I hate Ilhan Omar. I want to deport her anyway. And since she's an immigrant and she's black, can't possibly be loyal. So let's use this as our opportunity to smear her. And that's what they're doing. And it's so gross. And they're doing it with Cori Bush as well, because you all probably heard Cori Bush is being investigated by the Justice Department over a misuse of campaign funds. And the issue here is, did she, who hired her husband to do security, who has experience with security, did she misuse her campaign funds in paying him? And is she paying him above market rate? Because then that would be corruption, right? It's like a sweetheart deal. But if you look at the details here, Republicans have been trying to gin up some sort of a controversy here, and it was already dismissed. The House, I think, Ethics Committee investigated her husband, dismissed it. She's paying her husband $60,000 to do security. He has a background in security. There's really no there, but I mean, we'll wait for the outcome of the investigation, right? But like in response to that, she explained, listen, I have to have security. She, in fact, spends more on security than any other member of the House because she gets so many death threats. And she's a former Ferguson activist. She was part of the Black Lives Matter movement when Mike Brown was assassinated. And she's been harassed and stalked for years, even before she became a member of Congress. Then she gets elected. And then all of a sudden, she's a bigger target as well. So she has to spend money to protect herself. But people are like, oh, she supports defund the police, but now she wants security. Ha ha. Also, she's loud, so maybe, and this is Troy Nell saying this, maybe she should shut up. And I'm paraphrasing what he's saying. Maybe she should shut up and she wouldn't get harassed. It's so frustrating to me. And the people who are saying, oh, she supports defund the police, it's ironic that she wants security. That's liberals saying that, TYT. It's just so frustrating because everybody's bad faith and nobody wants to actually grapple with the substance. They just want to smear and attack people who they disagree with.
You can be for police reform.
No, because I think at this point people already know.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Rebecca. We're complaining. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I love it. I just pop in and you guys are always already complaining and mad about something. It's all good.
I'm angry.
Yeah, we're venting. Yeah, we're talking about Cori Bush and Ilhan Omar. I'm not sure if you've been following the straight up, just explicitly racist attacks on them. And Cori Bush, she hires private security because she gets nonstop death threats. She's a Ferguson activist. And yeah, there's a clip going on of TYT, and there's just, oh, isn't it ironic that she supports defund the police, but then she has private security. It's like, but that's not. Yeah, she's not saying we shouldn't have police. I don't know if she's an abolitionist. She's just saying like defund the police so we can take that bloated military budget.
It's totally fine if she wants to call the police if her life's being threatened. You live in a society, like you can criticize the system, but you still live within it, right? Like that's the weirdest thing. When you're like, oh, well, you criticize police and you want to defund them, yet you'll use them if someone's saying they're going to smash your house in.
Yep.
It's like, well,
it's literally like that meme where it's like, oh. But you're part of society. How curious. It's like, fuck off. Like the
right.
Are we not supposed to be able to criticize like anything because you can't criticize your job or your wages or your boss because you quit your job instead? Like it's such a fucking stupid and lazy argument to try and criticize people for utilizing what they have access to in using their critiques. It's absurd.
Defunding the police isn't like, it doesn't matter. Defunding the police is literally because of what police have done, abusing their power, targeting people because of color, targeting people because of sexuality, targeting places and all. We know what they've done. So when we say defund the police, we're talking about all that funding that goes into police. Like, how about you guys go into training? How about you guys proper training, proper, helping them de-escalate situations. This is what we're talking about. With all that funding that goes into police, like, it's so much more than people just saying we don't want police officers or defunding the police, equaling just that. So just because she supports that doesn't mean that she doesn't deserve protection. So I think that argument, like you said, David, is dumb.
Of all people, she should be extended the most grace because she is part of the Ferguson BLM activism, where that was basically the first time where Americans saw, oh my God, there's tanks rolling through the streets. Like, tanks, that should say, wow, maybe they have too much money. Maybe they've militarized them too much. And rather than taking all of this money and just giving them tanks now so they can abuse the citizens, what if we instead took some of that money, put it into mental health? So that way they're not also being mental health counselors. Put it into healthcare. So that way they're not dealing with health crises such as drug overdoses and whatnot. Like, we call the police for every fucking thing in this country. What if we took some of those things that they're doing and outsourced it so the police aren't like the end all be all for every single societal issue? That's what defund the police is. This has been explained. Cori Bush has explained this. You can look at the legislation that she sponsored and co-sponsored. People know what Cori Bush means when she says defund the police. And at this point in time, if people are trying to smear her and make it pretend as if, oh, just she wants anarchy, you're just being bad faith. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to.
Oh, absolutely. And the other thing I wanted to say is that when it comes to what you were talking about earlier with defund the police and all that, a new study just came out from the University of Toronto in Canada showing that there's no correlation between increases in police budget and lowering of crime rates. As in, they looked at all these different municipalities in the country over a long extended period of time, found out where municipalities were increasing their police budgets, and didn't show a correlation between that and it being a solution to crime. So you can look towards programs that actually do work. For example, the STAR, STAR program in Denver, where they divert 911 calls to other people. So just like Mike says, police officers don't have to be divorce court attorneys, social workers, mental health practitioners, because that way it can go to people who are unarmed and are experts in their field, or social workers who can actually help people having mental health crises, etc.
Yeah, exactly. That's a perfect example. Yeah, I'm so sick of the bad faith bullshit.
You could defund security if they aren't doing their job correctly by just firing your security. Like,
a couple bad apples,
like, that's
ruined
why
a bunch.
Right. That's why she supports defund the police, because when they're not doing their job, or what police are ostensibly supposed to do, but they don't in our society, because of what police's actual job really is. Defunding them is the equivalent to firing someone for not doing their job.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, no, there can't be any accountability. If you criticize the police, you love crime, you want anarchy. That's where we're at with political discourse. Nobody can actually engage with the substance. It's got to be a straw man that they argue against, because facts apparently are too scary for them. I don't know. It's just anecdotes, hysteria. I'm so sick of it.
Here in New York, the police funding has gotten so out of control that in order to fill our subway systems with police officers who stand around like penguins huddled in groups, scrolling on their phone all day, in order to pay for that, our public libraries are closed on Sundays now. So in New York, defunding the police would simply mean, to me, reopening our libraries on Sunday and pulling some of those extra shifts police officers are taking and getting halftime, double time pay, whatever it's called. That stops. To me, that's what defunding the police would mean in New York City right now. Reopening libraries for kids and not paying police officers to stand around in circles in the subway system while they scroll on their phone.
Yeah, I mean, allocating that money elsewhere makes sense. I used to live in New York, and I used to remember there was just such a large police presence everywhere I went. Right, I lived in Brooklyn, and I knew
nuts.
Everywhere. They're just everywhere. For no
there was
reason.
cops everywhere,
all the
like
time,
every street corner, everywhere,
corner,
all the time. Yeah,
just eating, talking, cruising, whatever. And they would, catcall at people, disrespect people, threaten people. I've seen it all. And I'm like, and then, God forbid you jump the turnstile and, here they are. They make such a big scene about that. Like, that's their moment to make such a big scene about. But it's like, yeah, like, let's allocate that money for something else, because they're beating up people, they're threatening people, they're abusing.
It's over
their
like
power.
$2 too. Like, to take this, like, all that money wasted on all these cops beating like a guy who's trying to save $2. Like, what a waste of fucking money.
It's gone up. It ain't $2. That's $2.
Oh, sorry.
Like years and years ago. It's gone up.
Whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Sorry, $3. Okay, I guess it's worth it then. It's $3.
It's $2.90.
No,
it's $2.90.
Right.
$2.90.
But no, so whatever's happening there, though, with people like Cori Bush and whoever else needs that, like, Ilhan Omar, anybody who's out there who already has been attacked for speaking up for anything. We know the threats are large. We know what they can do. We know that these are our representatives at the end of the day. So the same security that the other ones get, and they incite riots and domestic terrorism attacks and stuff. So the same security that they have does not mean, like, it should be the same that everybody has across the board, especially as a representation.
Also, yeah, you brought up a good point, because like TYT segment, they were mocking the idea that I guess you're allowed to be safe if you could have the money to hire private security, but like, in what world do the police keep you safe in everyday instances? I have never. Listen, I'm not black. I'm not Hispanic. I'm not. There's no reason for. I'm a white person who police never done anything for me. Like, I've had to deal with police, but I just do it because you need the paperwork. In fact, I've
talked myself out of so many police encounters. Like, when I was in high school, man, white privilege. That's how I learned that it was real. I had friends who were like, "How did you do that, Lance?" I was like,
basically, the last time I actually called the police was over 12 years ago now. My car was stolen in 2011, and in order to prove that anything that car does illegally is not my fault, you have to make a police report. So I had to call the police. They came, and the first thing they did was blame me that I probably got drunk the night before and can't remember where I parked my car. That's literally how they treated it. I wasn't expecting them to find my car, but I also wasn't expecting them to, like, of course they're not going to drop everything to do everything they got, like everything to find my car. They got more important things to do, like stand around in the subway station. So I just needed the paperwork so I wouldn't be held liable for whatever the person who stole my car does with my car. A couple of weeks later, I ended up finding my car by myself on the other side of the borough. And the reason I found it was because the person parked it after they went for their joyride or whatever in a no parking zone. And the wonderful police officers who give tickets didn't think anything weird about it and just gave the car a ticket every single day for the whole week. Didn't run the plates through to see if it was stolen because it was abandoned on a block that no one was allowed to park on. They just wrote a ticket for it every single day.
It's because they've been defunded, Matt. That's all they can do now.
Right. And when they write that ticket, it does go through a system. And so I would just check the system every day, and eventually the ticket started popping up in the system. You would like run your license plate and see, oh, you got these tickets, and the ticket tells you where the car was parked when it got the ticket. So I called someone up to give me a ride to where my stolen car was sitting full of tickets. And that's how I found my car. So the police helped me, I guess. If it wasn't for them giving me tickets for 7 days straight, I would have never found my car. So thank you, NYPD.
They didn't do their job properly. And it's, I don't like that. You say, Lance, you say you had, it's true, white privilege. And then your experience, Matt, they're not doing their job. And then just this weekend on Saturday, I went to go celebrate somebody's 50th birthday, like an old friend from when I first moved here. They turned 50. It was beautiful. I went out. I haven't been out in a minute in that way. And I went out. I knew I had to come back and do the show on Saturday morning. So that was Friday night. So I knew I had to come back and do the show on Saturday morning. I get pulled over on the way home, and because I got pulled over. It was in a dark area. I was on the way home. I told you guys I live in a predominantly white area, and the cop tells me to roll down my window. So, I did. And then he told me, the first thing he asked me was, have you been drinking? Now I was like, no, I didn't drink because I knew I had to do the show in the morning. And when I drive a distance like that, I don't drink. So I'm like, okay, came like he told me when he left the car, he's like, this was Saturday. I was by myself. It was super dark. I had on heels. My hair was a little frizzy from me dancing, and I left the event early. And I was so scared. And I have like PTSD from run-ins with the cops when I was like 12 with an AK behind my back and was in handcuffs in my own house because they thought I was breaking into my own house. But so when I'm just sitting there, I'm like, yo, I need to get on the phone with somebody. I was just listening to music going home. So then he tells me to get out the car. He asked me where I came from. And then he asked me again, have you been drinking? I said, I have not. I'm looking at him like, oh, I have not been drinking at all. Like he wanted me to change what I was going to say. So then he tells me, where's your license? And I told him where it was in the car. I said, I have to go get it. My purse fell in the corner, so I have to go get it. I feared so bad when I went to go get my license. He walked back to his car. I don't know what the hell he went to go do. So I'm like, Jesus, please. Like, I just need to get my license. So I found my license and I gave it to him. And he was just like, all right. Then he takes my license, puts it in the front, and he's like, have you been drinking again? And I said, no. Jesus he says, I need to, and then he tells me I stand in the street. All right. And he makes me do, and it's so humiliating. I'm by myself, only his vehicle and me. And he tells me to walk towards him. And he looks at me, he's like, oh, you have on heels. And I'm like, I just told you I came from a 50th birthday party. Like, what are we talking about here? And he tells me to walk towards him. Then while he's telling me to walk towards him, he said, did you give me your license? I said, it's right there on your chest. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he continues. And then he tells me, ma'am, follow my finger. This goes on for like 10 minutes. And he tells me, don't move my head. And I'm by myself. I'm trying not to cry because I'm like, Lord, I've been having a really like these things would happen to me. Like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. And he tells me, like, follow his finger. Don't move my head. Now he makes me go up and down. And then I'm like, do you want me to move my head or not? He's like, ma'am, don't worry about all that. And I'm like, okay, see, this be the problem, but I can't do that. I can't say these things. I can't act that way because I'm scared that something will happen. I don't know if his camera is on or off. I can't, like, nothing. I don't know anything. So he then tells me to walk back towards my car and get in it. And then he comes back towards my car and he says, your insurance is not showing up with your plates. And I'm like, I keep having this issue with the insurance, but it's here. I can pull up my insurance for you on my phone. And he was like, pull it up. And I did. And he was just like, well, I should be arresting you right now. I should be arresting you right now. He kept repeating that. So then I call my sister and I just keep her on the phone. And he walks away. He comes back and he hears my sister say, Becky, keep me here. And he's like, oh, you have a lot going on. And I just wanted to ask him, like, what do I do at this point? What are you going to do? He's like, at this point, you just, I'm going to call the tow guy. We're towing your car. And then you need to go. I'm taking your license. And because now it's going to show suspended.
What did you do that was wrong?
Because I didn't, my insurance wasn't showing up. So Georgia law, if it's not showing up, and this happened to me multiple times. My insurance, for some reason, is not reading with the state. I have to go all the way to the tax commissioner, show them the proof, and then it'll do that. And it's happening to so many people here. So he takes my car. I'm by myself. He makes me go back in the car. My sister's on the phone. He hears her. He tells me, you have a lot going on. I'll never forget. He has piercing blue eyes, white man, just stare. I'm scared. I am scared. And like, he's pointing out these little things. He's telling me that I drank. He's telling me I have on heels. He's telling me I'm dressed up. Like, he's mentioning all these things. And I'm like, Lord, I don't know. So then he hears my sister. He tells me I'm doing too much. And then he makes me get out of the car, tells me it's going to be towed. He keeps reiterating that he should arrest me. And then, he tells me he's like, do you know anybody in this area? I said, I actually live right up there. I live right up there. And he was like, right where? I said, and I let him know where I lived. He looked at me like I couldn't possibly live there. And I'm like, I live in this area. He was like, and you have no one. Yeah, I'm like,
I know.
And he's like, you don't have any family here. I'm like, my family lives in another city. I'm not gonna call them because I live right there. Like I'm looking at him like, give me a ride if you take. I don't want. I just want this to end. I don't care. I'll fix everything tomorrow. So, he's like, order a ride share. I'm like, I don't have any ride share apps on my phone. I don't take ride shares. Like I don't usually do that. If I drink, it's gonna be out with a friend or whatever the case may be. I don't do this. And then he goes, all right, download it on your phone. I'm gonna be right here. Then he comes back to me. I download the ride share. I'm waiting for the person, and it's freezing. The temperature is going down. I am shaking cold, and he's just like, well, now he starts to call me by my name when the tow truck guy comes. He's like, Miss Rebecca. Before it was ma'am, be quiet, ma'am, ma'am, focus. Now the tow truck guy comes and he's like, you got to tow her car. Looks like her license plates aren't showing. I took her license. And I just told the man, what do you need from me? Do you need my keys? What do you need from me tomorrow to pick up my car? He's like, we're only open for an hour. The police told me all I needed to bring my insurance card. Okay, fine. I'll have that. I'm scared. I just want to get away. And I told the man, just let me know where to pick it up at. Then I hear him say, we've been picking up cars all day today. We've been picking up cars, riding down the street. We've been stopping them. The tow truck guy said he had picked up like 13. Him and this officer partnered up for this particular area, and they done picked up like 13 cars. 3 of them were only wrecks. The rest of them, they've just been picking up people up and down the street. Nobody was there. On the ticket, he said there was medium traffic. There was no traffic. At all. And so I'm like, if I was speeding, if I was going above the speed limit, and just let me know that I was going like 5 above the speed limit. I wanted to get home. And he was just like, just let me know that. I'll pay that ticket. I'll do that. I'll do what I need to do. But having me go through hoops, it was crazy. And then I had to cross the street. All of a sudden, he's like, I would never let you cross the street by yourself. Don't talk to me, sir. Because I'm just ready to go. I had to cross the street.
After he fucking ruins your night, he's going to pretend he gives a fuck.
Harasses you?
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God.
I finally made it home. And I just felt like I was a shell of myself. I was so scared. I kept looking back. I'm like, did the man follow me? I don't know. And then I went to go get my car the next day, and he didn't tell me that I had to pay for it. So now I'm like, this is another expense. He took my license. I got to pay for that. I had to pay for my car to come out, and they won't even let you take your car if you don't have your license. So thank God the man was like, you were really nice to me yesterday, and you were pleasantly like, you're super nice today. So I'll let you take your car, no issue. He's like, but I always meet people and they're very mean, but you handled that situation yesterday with grace. And
I wonder why that is. Wonder why
right. I'm like, just give me my car. I'm going home. And I've been parked since. I have been super afraid to drive. Just in my neighborhood, I just don't like those type of experiences. And I don't think they should be that hard. If I was going over the speed limit, let me know that. I showed you my insurance. Tell me what to do. I asked him, I said, what do I need to do? And he was being so mean to me at first. And then when the tow truck driver came, then he started to be a little bit nicer. But it was a moment. Now he gave me 3 tickets. So because my car, me driving it, and without the insurance, me not having insurance, and
but
for the speed.
But you have insurance.
I know.
It's their problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Even though he saw the insurance, and even though that's all you needed to pick up your car, he still got towed.
Yeah.
Even though nothing changed between then and now, anyways.
Yeah. He wanted me to be drunk so bad. And that night I really did not drink. He wanted me to be drunk so bad. He wanted me to have some kind of something for him to get me on. And he kept repeating the words arrested. I don't like to be treated like a criminal. Y'all know my whole situation with the people garnishing my check, making me feel like I stole something. I do not like to feel like a criminal at all. And I don't like when they're abusing their power and they're speaking down on me. And I can do nothing about it. I literally can't say anything or do anything about it, because I want to save my own life. I want to make sure I get home safely. And that was such a moment that like I said, I have not been in my car since. I'm just like, I'm just gonna just wait and get all the stuff. And then I had to pay for everything. So that was $200. Then there was another fee I had to pay. Then it was like, I have to go back to the municipal court and figure that out. It's a whole thing just from one night where a cop could have just did their job, but instead it was just this whole thing. So
that's fucking insane.
I'm frustrated just listening to that. I cannot imagine going
it
through
was
that
so
experience.
scary. It was like night. It was black, and I was just with this man with his high beams on me outside, literally having me walk the street like I was a drunk.
When you have no recourse, he can do anything, and there's just no accountability. He could.
And how much
beat
did
you
that
up.
cost
Nothing.
the taxpayer?
There's
by the
nothing
way,
that you could
whole
do.
ordeal?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
how
it's-
expensive was that harassment? How much money was
Right.
spent doing that to keep safety in check? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. Harass somebody who has insurance, but it's fucked
Yeah,
up.
just
And
because.
even though
Yeah,
you
I'm
saw
like,
it,
I showed him on my app. He made me go into the app and told me to show him. I did. And it still wasn't enough. And after that, he just was going on this whole. He was looking for something. He was looking for something, and I was just like,
yeah, because clearly there was no reason to stop you. Like he'd never explained why he stopped you.
I'm like,
did he?
and I asked him. I said, if it was a speeding ticket, that's okay. I understand. I wasn't going 45. I probably was doing 53. Like I get it. Like I get it. But he wouldn't even address that. He just kept talking about your tag, your license. Let me get these things. He stripped me from everything. I went home with nothing of mine. Like nothing. I had to just go home. So yeah.
I'm really sorry. That's so traumatizing.
Yeah, it is. And I'm okay, but that's literally my reality here. And then choosing to live in a certain area because I want the benefits of the safety and the cheaper housing. But it's for me because I don't look like the people that live here. The police will always be after me. This is not my first run-in with them here, but that was my first run-in with them at night and by myself. And it was super duper scary. Yeah.
I'm really sorry. That sucks.
I know.
I'm a G about it. And I'll get over it. I'll be back in my car soon enough. But it costs, right? It cost me those type of things. It wasn't just a ticket. I can go to the court and just, it wasn't that. Now it's a whole damn thing I got to do. A whole damn thing. Right. So, but it's okay. We're gonna get it done.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This is why people become so radicalized. Because he could have been doing something productive with the taxpayer money. He could have, I don't know, fucking tried to stop crime. But the thing is, go pick up trash on the side of the fucking road, dude. Like
back to Binder's story. Do you know that joke, that Seinfeld one, where it's like a whole bunch of cops are standing on the subway, hand them a broom because we're already paying their salaries. They might as well clean it.
Do something. They just sit there and wait for people to pass by.
That's a good point. That's a really good
point. And they choose. They do something with your time. You're just standing there, and then you choose people to pick on, and you know who to pick on, and then it's a whole thing. You guys are actors and you guys are capitalistic. You guys partner with other people to make this tow truck company money. It's just so that you look for people and things and you attack and then you belittle people. You make them feel small. If they challenge your authority, if they challenge the lies or whatever you're trying to put on them, you go even harder and to make their moments or their life or this experience miserable so that they will always fear you. That's what they do not want. Any police officers have this, authority, or they walk around with this authority and they think everybody should be afraid of them. You should not be. I should not be afraid of the people that's here to serve and protect me. I should not be afraid. Yeah. I should be able to question you, talk to you, have a conversation. Why am I being pulled over? You know what? I should be able to do that. But I'm so scared. I got to keep my mouth shut to make sure that I make it home. That's crazy.
That's an occupying force. That isn't protection. That isn't safety.
Yeah.
I know most lefty shows, when they complain about state violence or the police, don't offer solutions, but I just finished making a documentary on this very subject. So I actually know 5 or 6 things that can improve public safety that diverts money from the police. One of them is actually to improve lighting in dark areas of city. Another one is community project and community-based building projects, apparently lower murder rates by about 9%. Another one is spending more money on Medicare, Medicaid, and access to public health care. That one's probably should be a surprise to nobody. And for the unhoused, it's actually cheaper to your city to house the unhoused in the long term. Between medical and police costs, you'll save money. So even if you hate homeless people and you think they're filthy vermin, in the long run you can save more money. And that's the reason why a lot of Scandinavian countries actually have much better outcomes when it comes to that kind of stuff. So and also divert 911 calls to social workers and stuff for certain calls if they're having mental health crises and stuff like that.
What is this documentary that you're working on?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you were just talking about TYT, because I was basically reading through all these clips of the shoplifting fiasco that happened in 2023, where there's so many people reporting on shoplifting is out of control. Target stores are closing down. It's America is burning to the ground. And then when the information came out about this, and all these major retailers and retail chains said that 95% of the losses that they had, close to like somewhere around $94 billion worth of losses, came from shoplifting. It turns out they lied. The actual answer was 5%. Only 5% of it was from shoplifting. A lot of it had to do with shrink and stuff. And the Target stores and all these other stores that were closing down, they were closing down for a completely different reason. There was more shoplifting that was happening to the other locations all surrounding them in every major city that like studies started looking at. I was like, there's so much evidence on this topic that this was all a big thing, where all of these media figures, including TYT, by the way, were doing these sensationalist stories that shows a lot of footage of, yes, no one's ever on the other side of like a violent criminal, or if someone goes into a store and beats someone up and then smashed a bunch of stuff, like obviously you're not supposed to defend that. But the fact that that's what got like all the sensationalization and the media focus, when this wasn't a problem the way it was being talked about, and it was actually, no one was talking about like corporate greed, no one was talking about shrink and all these other factors. I was like, this actually tells a whole story, and it plays into that whole like keep people afraid about this kind of theft, when what is the majority of theft in America? I'm sure you all know the answer: wage theft. But it's to such a disgusting, disproportionate degree, of which is like, it's not even like apples and oranges. It's like a complete drop in the ocean. Like we're talking billions and billions and billions of dollars in wage theft, and there's no governing body outside of maybe 1,000 manned personnel in this one organization that looks after that. Meanwhile, police budgets are just continuously going like this. Like if you talk about New York, it's like what, $11 billion is like the New York police department budget. So police are getting all this money to try and fight a problem that isn't actually going after the problem. And the only reason everyone buys into it is because of like propaganda, our movies, the idea that society's safer, police keep us safe, and media always showing us this is scary, this is frightening. Look at people breaking in, look at this, and they're disproportionately black, and they're disproportionately indigenous, and they're smashing the glass, and it's all super scary. Are you on the side of the people breaking glass? And like you have to play defense, where you're like, no, obviously I don't defend the guy, the mad pooper of Florida. It's bad that he's pooping on people. Obviously, I'm not on his side, but I just think the solution to this is probably not giving the police, millions and millions of more weaponized, materials.
Yeah, it's class warfare. It's class warfare, because when you think about wage theft, it's like, okay, if your employer steals from you, what would happen if you were to just, like, let's say you work retail, you just go in the cash register, you take that $200 that they didn't pay you in overtime, you would go to jail, even though they stole from you. Like, these are things that are only enforced on the poor, right? If you are a poor person and you steal, that's theft. You go to jail. If you're a corporation and you steal from your employees, I mean, it's theft technically, but what are you going to do, right? It's that power dynamic. You have no power. They have all the power. And it's frustrating to see people play into this narrative, because a lot of people who fall for these types of fear-mongering over crime and whatnot, which crime has always existed and always will exist. We don't live in a utopia, but they're kind of like playing into their own like disenfranchisement in a way, because like this is all class warfare. It's against you too, dummy. It's really frustrating. I don't know.
It is frustrating. It pisses me off, and I love that you covered that, because what they try to do is make it under the guise of there's theft, there's this, there's that, but you see how you compared it to all these other issues, and how it is like, apples to oranges when we look at the breakdown of it. Those are the type of conversations that should be had, but what they try to do is base it on, okay, it's theft, and it's a certain type of people who are doing these things, and this is where the crime is, and it's the thugs, and it's this and it's that, and it's really not all that. If we break it down to what it actually is, and what they're doing and why they're doing it, and environmental issues, there's so much other things that goes into it, but that's not how they're reported. That's not how they'll talk about it. This whole thing could be very, like, when we break it down, it is frustrating. And if we go back to the gist of it about defunding the police, these are the reasons why we talk about it, because you guys fund for these kind of things. So I don't like going to a Walmart where you're locking up deodorant.
Right.
That's not making sense. And I don't like going to these communities as well, where there's what I call a black tax. Why is it so much more in this black poor community than it is over here where I live, where everything ain't locked up, it's free, there's like, it's 10 cents less, $1 less. It's like, I don't understand it. And there's more police presence at the black Walmart, or at the black Target, or at the whatever. It's ridiculous. So
and it pisses me off too that it's also sold in a very Orwellian way, where it's like, listen, I get it. It's these corporations and they're rich, but you should also care when they're stolen from, because that affects you somehow. The way it affects you is, well, if they steal, then they're going to raise the prices and whatnot. So care about that more than the wage theft. Care about that more than the corporations that are robbing us blind just in general. It is psychological class warfare in a way. And I feel like we all have a duty to not participate in it, especially if we identify as liberals. I don't, but if you're a liberal, you probably shouldn't participate in that. So if you're a media outlet that's doing this, you should probably stop, or maybe focus on like wage thefts.
Yeah. I'm curious how much of the media that, you know, focus so much on all those thefts at these stores, then came back and apologized and correct the record. Did they? Yeah, the shoplifting stuff. Did they come back and correct the record and, you know, apologize and that they got it wrong and here's the real story? Did any of these places do that? I would be surprised.
I mean, Walgreens, I think it was
like
New
York Times may have. That's why it came out, but no one else did.
Target I think had something about something, because it was the same kind of argument that they were having with the Target.
Targets is really bad, because when you look at the study that actually like looked at all the theft that was happening at Targets, it would be like the location that was chosen to close down was being done in predominantly black neighborhoods, but not where there was more shoplifting, but where there was less purchasing power. So it's also one of those things where it's like, there's a lot of reasons why people in a certain area might not be able to start shopping at Target or Walgreens or something like that. There's reasons for that. But to say that this is because of theft is really fucked up. And to say like, oh, we're just doing this because of theft, it's because the shoplifting is out of control. Meanwhile, in a much more expensive neighborhood, shoplifting was way higher. We're talking in one instance, I think in the Folsom Street in San Francisco, it was like 28 to 321 incidents, 28 in the one that closed down, 321 in the one that remained open. So that's not, you're lying. You're lying to everybody about the reason for this.
Yeah.
I tell you, we could be on this topic for years. Okay, there's another layer of it every time. We talked about like 10 different things that have. It's just criminal. It's just criminal.
I don't know if you all want to talk about something that's more lighthearted, but we do have our guest. So before we introduce any other topics, we should bring in our guest.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, welcome.
What's up?
Hi, Pascal.
Hi, Pascal.
Hey, Rebecca. What's up?
How you
doing?
Good. Look, on Black History Month, the first day of Black History Month, we better bring in a black guest. Okay.
Damn right. What's up, party people? How y'all doing?
Good.
Great.
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm alive, you know, breathing, you know, staying busy as you guys all are as well, right? I'm honored to be here. I'm excited to be a part of the conversation. I guess sorry I'm late, but because it is Black History Month,
that's right.
Yes, I can use that card.
You came right on time. You got it. That is right on time. All Black History Month.
Show up on hey, I'm on time. Okay, it's Black History Month.
You did ask them when I came in, or they was already talking.
There's no schedule here. It's all good.
There's no schedule.
Yeah.
But real quick, I want to say, Rebecca. First off, I was listening. This entire time. I wanted to. But it's like a conversation double dutch. You just don't know when to jump in, you know? So I wanted to let you tell your story. And I just want to say, you know, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I mean, given the fact that you, I'm sure, wanted to rip him apart with your own bare hands, you know what I mean? The fact that you kept it together and you know, he was really trying to challenge your integrity. And I just wanted to like commend you for just keeping it cool. I'm sure you did a whole bunch of shots of Patron afterwards, which would have definitely been deserved. But and I'm sorry for circling back to that story.
No,
but
it's okay.
I'm just saying, like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I mean, I feel like we've all gone through that kind of bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I appreciate that, Pascal.
I know. I feel your pain. I'll just say that. I feel your pain. Yeah.
I appreciate that. I hate that we have to relate in that way, but you know, it's probably, like I said, it sucks, but it's our reality, and I have to be able to continue to live. So it might shake me up a little bit, but I still gotta pay some bills. I still gotta get myself together. I still gotta live, and that's just our reality, and that's just what it is. Sucks. It sucks. Traumatic. It is, but you know. But thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem.
Pascal, do you also want to do a quick introduction, plug your show, tell everyone where they can find
I forgot
you,
to do that.
Listen to your amazing commentary, by the way.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you, Lance. I appreciate that. Well, let's see. What's up, everybody? Should I be? Hi, my name's Pascal. Okay. What's up, everybody? My name's Pascal. I host a show called The Pascal Show. I cover everything from like true crime to pop culture. I might sprinkle in a little bit of political here and there, but mainly it's true crime and pop culture. Yeah, I like to have a good time just telling stories in my very unique way. So yeah, that's my show. It's on YouTube, just like everybody else. So go check it out, The Pascal Show.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
And Pascal's Haitian too.
Yeah,
not believe. He's Haitian too. Yeah. Listen, that's all it is. Exactly. And it's good. It's good. This is good. This is a good start to Black History Month.
I'm very passionate and I speak a lot with my hands passionately. So yes, I'm Haitian. I'm Haitian as F. Okay. Yes. Do you have the shirt yet? Rebecca, do you have the shirt? I'm not yelling, I'm Haitian. Do you have that yet?
No. Did you make that shirt? And why I didn't?
No, I didn't make it. It's sold online, but I already have I think I burned through 3 of them already.
Okay, no, I got it. You gotta send me the link, and I gotta get that.
I got you. Yeah. I'll send it to you. Yeah. Okay, but enough of that.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Look, like
if you didn't know,
at the house. Yeah,
hey, you guys can take over. I'm good. I don't mind.
David Dole's already checked out. He's so tired.
we just act like nobody's here. Okay, so we're gonna lighten it up. Who had the story that they wanted to lighten up with Pascal?
I am dying to get your thoughts on a new rap song that dropped from rap artist Ben Shapiro and Tom McDonald. So let me share the lyrics.
Wait, is this the same one that went? This is the one song.
It's
okay.
Wet ass P word, right?
I've heard it.
Yeah.
Well, the guy, from the wet ass P word.
That guy.
He's
different song.
Yeah, I wish I could play it for you, but we can't because of copyright. But you're gonna be happier not having to hear it. You can look it up. But there's a lot to this. So first of all, before I get to Ben Shapiro, there's a line
I
from
can do
Tom
the voice
McDonald.
if you want.
Oh my God! Yes, yes.
Who did it?
I have the soundboard that I can change my voice like this, so if you want, I can read it.
That's good because you just scared me.
I was like, who was that?
So there's a line in here from Tom McDonald about like American flags and how they're just gone. Apparently, this man is Canadian, so I don't know. I feel like this is stolen valor in a way.
Is he Canadian? I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
oh, God.
That's
He's Canadian.
Why are all the worst people one of us?
Yeah, thanks. We need a border on the northern side. Okay, everybody's talking about a Canada or Mexico border. We need on the north.
The Vancouver hip hop scene. It sucks.
I've seen
it's
this.
Really brutal.
I've seen it. I think he mentioned Nikki in this. I think.
Yeah. So this is his verse right here. If you want to go ahead and read it, David, in the voice, I'll zoom in here.
Don't mind if I do. All right.
Can you rap it with that voice, David? Can you really give us the full Ben Shapiro?
I haven't heard.
I haven't heard the full song, so it might be. I'm not sure how the rhythm goes on this song.
Do your best.
But I'll just.
There is no rhythm.
I'll see what I can do.
I've heard it. There is no rhythm.
Right.
I figured there was.
There's more auto tune than you're using right now. Like just
fact.
Right.
Hard.
All right. Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts. My money like Lizzo. My pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wap. Dog, it's a Yarmer. What?
That's a yarmulke, buddy. Someone's never read any.
Dog, it's a yarmulke, homie. No cap. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Look at the graphs. Look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You're going to prison. I'm on television. Dogs, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nikki, take some notes. I did this for fun. All my people download this. Let's get a Billboard #1.
And he did. On Apple or Spotify. One of those he did. But great job, David. You gave it the full voice.
That was better than Ben Shapiro.
I got sound effects.
Oh,
nice.
There you go. You got applause too. I also got applause. The double applause.
Well, I could do better. No, I'm kidding.
There we go.
That's better.
Where'd you find that?
You know what I mean?
You guys.
Oh my God.
But it was terrible. We covered that. Yes, very clownish. We covered that on Saturday, and we talked about it. Not Ben Shapiro, Ben Dixon. We were going over it, and the guy. Here they go. You see how they make the argument, don't she talking about defunding the police while we protect her. These are the same people right here that can't stand nothing black, right? Got an issue with WAP, got an issue with everything, but takes the culture, takes rap. The guy that's in the video, the Canadian, he faux braids, right? Tattoos all over, trying to do the look, right? The urban look. And he had to add him to that song to give it some kind of power. And he mentioned
Did he really?
Nikki.
I didn't even notice that. Oh
It's
my
terrible.
God.
I seen the video. We played the video on Saturday, and I'm like, this is terrible. He has on a hoodie, mind you. The hoodie is synonymous with thugs. We know what happened to Trayvon Martin, but he got the hoodie on in the video. All of these problematic things, and he has to rap, and he has to try to use a beat and the voice, and he can't even stay on beat. He was on the down beat, the middle beat. He ain't do right. I heard it. And so he does all of this. He uses our culture to try to promote what, and then say he's better than Nicki. But the thing is, it did reach, I think, #1 on Apple or something like that. But
well, it's on iTunes, which
it's on it is #1 globally right now.
Which means you have to buy music. Who buys music? Really old people.
Right.
He also hates wet ass pussy. That's pretty wild. I've never seen anyone hate it as much as Ben Shapiro does. You know?
Actually, he prefers it dry. His doctor wife said it's perfectly normal for women to be dry.
I forgot about that. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's the
He's
throwback.
had so many embarrassing moments publicly that it's amazing that he still has any kind of cultural power whatsoever.
Unbelievable.
Well, what's funny about this is somebody on Twitter pointed out, I wish I could credit them, I don't remember who said it, but so when Tom McDonald released this, there was a bunch of anti-Semitism in response because Ben Shapiro was part of it, right?
Really?
So
I didn't know that.
There's a bunch of anti-Semitism.
This dude's got a lot of far right followers.
A lot of Nazis.
I mean, when you sing about like right-wing conspiracy theories all the time, then naturally you're going to have a right-wing conspiracy theorist audience. And the whole his replies on Twitter were just full of like, I'm not supporting you anymore. You're dead to me. What are you?
Yeah.
You a globalist now? Things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
then of course there were just the comments that just went in all caps, Jew.
Right. It was like it was overt anti-Semitism, and he doesn't realize that he kind of boxed himself into a corner. Tom McDonald.
Oh, I think he realizes. No, these guys.
Well, he tried.
Stupid.
He tried so hard to because he's kind of a one-trick pony now. All of his songs are, "I hate SJWs. You're offended. You're triggered. You're a snowflake." And so he did is okay. I don't know when this was. It was a couple of years ago. He did a song called "If I Were Black." And he photoshopped himself as a black person on the cover, by the way. But the song itself was him trying to be serious and talk about racism. And can you guess what the reaction was from the audience? Can you guess?
No,
Tom McDonald. So this is the guy who
in the song.
Yeah. So he tried to do a song actually being serious about the reality of racism, ironically with the art being him photoshopping himself being black. And his audience, they didn't like it because they don't want to be told that racism is real. They want to be told that it's fake and that anyone who cries about it is an SJW. So it's so funny that now this person is like forced to just make song after song about SJW. Like he is the music equivalent, and music is charitable. He's the music equivalent of like an anti-SJW YouTuber from like 2015. It's insane to me. And boomers,
he's like a born again preacher, like one of those people who's like, I used to party, I used to have orgies, I used to do all this like sinful stuff, but I don't anymore, and I'm better now. And you are terrible. You are terrible if you do the fun things I do. And that's like that's his whole persona. He wanted to be a wrestler. Are you talking about Tom McDonald, right?
Yeah, Tom McDonald. Yeah,
right, yeah. So he wanted to be a wrestler apparently, and then he was in like the Vancouver hip hop scene, and then he like overlapped with Swollen Members and Mad Child for a little while. And if you don't know these names, that's okay, that's fine. But like it's wild how he did this whole rebranding where he's like he got sober and now he like he believes in like fighting wokeness and SJWs and all that kind of stuff. Like he did a whole rebrand and then became really successful at it because yeah, it's like lower bar of entry than Christian music, I guess, kind of thing.
Oh, he does Christian music.
No, but it's just kind of like he wasn't successful as like, you know, a rapper until he became a MAGA rapper, and then as a Canadian MAGA rapper, he's like he's charting.
He's been leaning hard on that. That grift is real. That grift is very, very real. Are you, Lance? Are you working on his unauthorized documentary as well?
No, I just covered. I just like
got the information, maybe.
I'm like, wow. Well, tell me his whole story, please.
I just did a story on him, and it blew my mind finding out that he's Canadian because he's got this song with another dude from Vancouver called Mad Child, and the two of them are singing about Trump, and it's like, you know, you won't vote for Trump, but you do. I'm like, they're both Canadian. They're both from Vancouver. I was like, this is so wild. Yeah, I know. Americans love him.
And his tattoo on his lip is like hog, right?
Oh, I don't know about his tattoo.
I think it says hog.
He's a pro wrestler.
So he thinks he's an American hog.
I think he was an amateur wrestler, not a pro wrestler.
He's LARPing as an American.
They wanted me to specifically know that, Matt, in my chat. Icy wanted me to tell you specifically that he was a former pro wrestler. So
I did not know that. This makes him a lot more. That makes it a lot more interesting. I mean, he was a nobody. He was basically, you know, an indie guy. Like he was on the indie scene for a couple of years.
Oh, you knew All Star? Man, you know so much about wrestling.
Oh wow.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know who. I'm just looking it up now. I didn't even know he was a wrestler, but I'm looking it up now. He wasn't like with WWE.
I thought it was in the dome, Matt. I'm like, damn.
No.
Me too. I was like, that's a deep cut.
Yeah.
I'm looking up some of his. I mean, he didn't make it. I mean,
so failed wrestler, a failed wrestler, but he knows how to spit some boars. Sort of, I guess. But then he realized that the right wing was going to gobble him up. So he just decided, hey, let me just go after this 10 toes down and make just a whole bunch of bags. That's exactly what it sounds like, right? Because I mean, every single song he ever comes out with is something that has to do pro-Trump or it's super right wing. I mean, it's still that, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's basically
he knows that he's mastered the art of pandering. Like it's not about anything.
Knows his market.
Talent, like because the market he's appealing to, they don't like rap music. I mean, Ben Shapiro, he said rap is not real music. Like he's unironically said this
that's
before.
An actual quote. Yeah, no.
He said
here
this
he
before.
is utilizing it to capitalize and to make a point, and he uses all of the hip hop structure and all of that to make his point. And I don't understand it. And it's like you were just judging it. You were just judging lyrics, and you're telling Nikki, who we really need to talk about that too. But then you're telling Nikki to take notes and all this other stuff. You're mentioning these people. Nobody was looking for you. Nobody asked about you, and here you are, and like making the scene. And then here, like, what was the point of the song? I really would love to know, because I don't really know where he was trying to go with it, what he was trying to do with it. His point was just like, I'm a white guy who speaks against the Black community, but I can still use this tool and monetize, capitalize off of it, go number one, and go back to talking about Black folks and everything Black on my show.
But the real question now is, since there's a bunch of right-wingers in music, there's Tim Pool, there's Ben Shapiro, but in terms of right-wing rap, so my question to all of you is, who do you think is the king/queen of rap on the right now? Ben Shapiro or Linda Paulson? So if you haven't heard of Linda Paulson, Linda Paulson is my personal favorite. I think that Linda Paulson.
Don't go for the queen.
Let's play this one. I haven't seen this.
Listen, her flow is spectacular. The beat, oh my god! I mean, I'm just gonna play it for you, okay?
I'm getting excited now. Come on,
for sure.
All right, get ready.
Whoa, be careful! I don't want to get copyright struck.
Right here, there's a new name on the ballot for the Senate this year. My name is Linda Paulson, Republican and awesome. Love God and family and the Constitution.
I haven't memorized.
Tried to get another conservative
You played it too much.
run. Nobody could do it, so I'm getting
it's a cell phone ringtone.
I'm pro
Not the picture being blurry.
Pro-police, the right to bear arms, and the right to free speech. I want less government.
What program
and regulation wants to stop and expose all political corruption with integrity, morality, accountability. Government programs should lead to self-sufficiency and support traditional family.
50, girl, it's giving by 70.
Society.
Right?
In schools, they are pushing for new beliefs. And just to clarify, as a female adult, I know what a woman is.
Wow, and she just went.
Yeah.
Transgender people owned.
I love
Done.
this country. It's
Oh,
a
she's
blessing
back
to
again.
be free,
Stop it
but
right now.
freedom comes with
She done. She been done. Wow, it's more than a minute. That should have been like 0 seconds long.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys seen the video of the it's like an old like early 90s or late 80s video of how to do hip hop, like how to dance hip hop. You ever seen that? The white lady, she's like, and dance, and she's like doing all this
2, 3,
weird.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
I
9,
think,
10,
yeah,
it sounds familiar.
I've seen that.
It's like she took the lessons from that
Yes, she
that
did.
video.
But with no moves
Someone
though, because
learned.
that other lady, she gave you a little 1, 2, 5, 6, pop it up, down.
Yep.
Like she gave you that. this lady gave us not a thing. And talking about she was 50 on
She
that
just did
cake.
one move. She's like, that's the one thing I
She did
learned
this.
from that
I remember
tutorial.
She did this.
And she did that. Yep. Hey,
Oh my
she
God.
did so. What, isn't that from like who's that from? That's from some
Pascal's
music
this.
video.
You talking about
this
something
is-
something
this is an old
Caribbeans?
video privilege shot.
Them people what
It's from something. I'm trying to remember what it is.
It's
Some stupid song, like Lil Jon or something. I don't know what it is.
Them.
It's one of those.
You're
songs.
right, and it's coming to me right now, but it's not coming to me. But it's there.
It's that.
there. Damn it.
Pascal,
You
can
know
you see
exactly what I mean.
Can you see the chat? Is it this video?
Oh, yes.
This one from like 13 years ago. Is this the one?
Let me take a look. Hold on. Yes. Yes.
This is it? David
Yes,
G play it? I've never seen this. I want to see this.
It is so bad. Oh my God. You gotta scroll through a little bit.
Exactly it.
If you play it, you just gotta scroll through a little bit so you can get to her. And she's just like, it is this.
And a 1 and a 2 and a 3, 4.
Yeah. And she's you gotta use it's so bad. It's so amazing. Oh.
But so you guys consider her. I know Mike was asking, who's the better rapper there. Do you consider that Republican woman a better rapper? Play that though. Play that real quick.
Yeah, you gotta take it this.
1, 2, 3, 4 hits. The more relaxed you are, that's what makes it hip hop.
Oh, thank you so much for playing that. That's exactly what I mean. She learned that. She's like, okay, for being 90 years old.
Boom, bam, every time.
She did start the video with a little bit of that.
Your hands are always
she did the turn
like
and she
this.
came back around.
Start out just hitting it.
I'm not sure if this is copyright music or
Oh my
just,
God,
like,
I've seen this.
skipping through.
I don't think
Be careful.
That's
baggy
what
pants and no baggy pants.
You see,
They have
She's
no
trying to
baggy
she's trying to
pants
explain
and no
people the
sneakers.
swagger.
I was wild.
the
I
clothing.
didn't know what to think about that.
very Ben Shapiro, right? That's a Ben Shapiro had to
Wow.
watch that to say how to be hip hop, right? They will not look at us to be hip hop. They gonna go look at somebody else that's describing us or hip hop or blackness, and they got to be white. If the white person is explaining how to be black, it got to be right during Black History Month. Not during Black History Month.
It's terrible.
We give these white folks a little bit too much.
In the African piece, it was like this.
Yeah.
But in hip hop,
Nice.
it's like this. See, there's a difference.
There was a difference with her with the fist.
Like
And it's
it,
like
that's
what
like
made
that.
it hip
Oh
hop.
my God.
You release the hand.
I don't
And
know.
you just contract your body like so.
I'm not sure how much more we can take of this. Here, a little bit more. It's too good. It's too good.
I'm sorry, guys, but after seeing
But they're not-
this, I'm drinking straight black coffee for at least a week. No more creamer, no
points.
nothing.
Oh my shit.
I don't want to see the music just in case, but
It's gonna do when hip hop goes out.
Oh.
Hip hop is an attitude. It's right here. It's how you feel. It's a style.
Oh my
So it can go
Lord.
out. Hit.
You got
Hit.
it.
Flex foot.
Where did she go?
Get back. It's all in your attitude. It's right here in your faces and how you dress. It's the way you look. I want to tell you another thing that makes hip hop hip hop.
She watched the Greeks, the HBCU Divine Nines. She's talking about, you go underneath the leg. Come on now.
Stop.
all right. One last one. Oh God.
What is that?
The whole squad's here.
All right, I can't just keep watching.
Oh no! See, not during Black History Month. We ain't gonna.
No.
That's crazy.
I have to say, as a white person,
Lord.
this makes me really hate white people. That kind of shit is just why, like,
When they do it, but when they do it, even with no rhythm, even with no beat, and I'm not saying because y'all white.
She
up
means
here,
well. She
but
means well.
It's not It's yes, I mean well, and I just say when they do it, and it doesn't have the sauce, but it has the cranberries and it has the raisins, but it's missing the seasoning, and that's not you guys, but that what they show. They literally still get pushed to the forefront. Their content, their work, and it don't be their work. It don't be their blueprint. It don't be none of that. But they will allow that to be what is taught in schools, what to play. Like that's crazy.
Like the boom cack ain't boop cacking. You know what I mean? Like it's
we already
got
yeah.
Oh my Lord. Like I said, I'm drinking straight black coffee for the rest of the week because of that, guys. Thanks a lot.
I feel like we put Pascal through so much. Linda Paulson, Ben Shapiro. I feel like we've got to do better to our guests. This is not fair.
No, thank you. This made my night. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Your first Black History Month night? No, it can't be like that. Listen, so with all hip hop and we're talking about all hip hop, and we're talking about white folks trying to hip hop, trying to rap, trying to do all that. There are actually rappers out here who are rapping. We've heard about a lot of beef throughout hip hop. I know you guys, know a lot of it. Right now, the
Hit 'Em Up number one for me personally. If I was to pick one beef track ever, but Hit 'Em Up by Tupac would be my number one personally.
Then I hated that because some people had to die. I don't like when rap beef gets to that point, right?
Now I feel terrible, Rebecca.
That's what I'm saying. When I think about that,
people died for this. That was real.
They died for the art.
I know where we're going with this with the Nicki Minaj and the Meg Thee Stallion, but I feel like how it can get today because it's so culty, it's gone beyond. People are doing the minions are doing the work. It can get to that point. They're killing off each other, but we can get to that story later. Have you guys heard the diss track or the track that Megan Thee Stallion dropped?
I heard it. Yeah.
Right, it's good. I love it. I think it's some of her best work as a rap, like as an artist, as a rapper, a female rapper at that. And then did you hear Nicki's
well, you should explain to the audience who doesn't understand the connection, because the connection is pretty wild. Like why Nicki thought it was a diss track about her.
Okay. So in Meg Thee Stallion's track, I guess she acknowledges the issues between her and Nicki, not by name, but we know that Nicki is married to a registered sex offender, and Meg Thee Stallion in her song made the line about don't worry about Megan, but worry about Megan's Law. Megan's Law is a law in California that is a law that highlights sex offenders. And because there was a young girl who was killed, her name was Megan, and they made a law in there that is about sex offenders and protecting people from sex offenders. And it's called Megan's Law. And because of that, they, of course, associated with Nicki Minaj and her husband, because her husband's a sex offender, registered sex offender. And Nicki Minaj went on for about 5 days, a week, just going off since that song dropped, going off on Meg Thee Stallion, a whole thing about it. She's been doing I know I don't be on Clubhouse anymore, but they do it on X, like a Clubhouse thing. She's been on there almost every night discussing it. She dropped a diss track, which were just most of her tweets towards Meg Thee Stallion, and Meg Thee Stallion has yet to really answer back at all. Her track Hiss has gone up amazing, but my problem here, because we can discuss who had the better diss track or whatever, my problem here, you guys, is the issue of how people online have commentary, right? They put their business out there for us. We're going to go out and have conversations about it. But it's people on TikTok having these conversations and commentary, and Nicki Minaj's barbs, the barbs, the fans, they're going under and these people's videos and threatening them and doxing them. So much doxing has happened just for mentioning Nicki in one way, shape, or form, or having a breakdown that may or may not make sense, that may or may not be harsh. They're going underneath these people's posts. They're calling their jobs. They're calling their family members. They have, even for Meg Thee Stallion, the cemetery where Meg Thee Stallion's mother is buried at, had to put more police presence there, not only over her mother, but over the place itself. And a lot of people who just made commentary are being threatened, and their information is being placed online because they spoke against Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj has not yet once told her barbs to stop. In her diss song, she says to go to go deal with her mother or something like that. Something disrespectful to her mom being dead.
She's lying on her dead mom or something.
Lied on her dead mama. Lied on her dead mama.
Yep. And so it gets a little crazy. But for me, I'll say this. I think it's super dangerous to have this kind of, these people have this kind of power. And a few people had to call the police, had to get the feds involved with some of the barbs who are very popular and had to put their names out there because their lives were being threatened. Their livelihoods were being threatened just for saying, Jesus. I rock with this person or this person. I do not think that rap beef should go beyond the rappers themselves and like how it is today. You don't even need to, you just need to say something and then your clan will go in against each other. And it's so much division online right now because of it. We can't really have a agree to disagree or just go on separate ends of it and listen to the music and be like, rock with who you rock with. No, it's getting really crazy. People are threatening to meet up. People are threatening to drive by. It's over this. Over
guys. Celebrities who they don't know.
Don't care about
celebrities don't know that they exist. As is the case with Nicki Minaj, like she doesn't give a fuck about her fans. Like she's got a grudge. She's got an axe to grind. Mm-hmm. That's so unhinged, and it makes me sad because
it's terrible.
Yeah, because I feel like Nicki Minaj. I mean, she looks like shit in this situation. Like I think that most people, based on the sentiment that I've seen, side with Megan Thee Stallion because she's better. I think that Anthony Fantano really put it best. Like back when Nicki Minaj was like this up and coming rapper. And she released Stupid Ho. She was going after Lil Kim. She kind of looked like, she was having fun with it, and Lil Kim came off as more bitter, like, she was getting her toes stepped on. And now it's kind of flipped where, she
doesn't want to let go and get to me, give the spotlight up. But it's becoming dangerous because Lil Kim didn't have the little bees at the time online. These online people, these clans, they have gotten very, very dangerous.
Social media has made it completely different now because I don't think that there was as much social media when the Lil Kim Nicki Minaj beef was going off, but now there's so much more avenues, TikTok, Twitter, so it's sad. It's sad that people are resorting to that because these are celebrities. It shouldn't matter to you personally. Like we can all have an opinion on it, we do, but you shouldn't get that invested to where you want to kill someone or slap someone because they have a different opinion about a beef that doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a good distraction.
No, but I think it's getting deeper. Pascal, you had something to say? I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, and Nicki Minaj's diss track was trash.
It was so bad.
It was like I can't even. I'm not saying that even because I'm choosing a side right now. It's really it wasn't good, and you still your track wasn't good, and people still willing to go outside and kill for you, and your track wasn't good, sis.
But I'm still wondering if she was on one. Like I keep wondering if she's mentally, if she's mentally stable right now. And what was that? Then somebody else just put out, I think it was Joe Budden, put out another track of what it was originally supposed to sound like. And it sounded so much better than the one that she actually put out.
Really?
Yeah.
What did they change? What was the difference?
Well, I just think it was like the delivery, the sound of the actual song itself was a little bit better. But at the same time, I keep thinking I don't know. It just seems like she just phoned it in. But because she's Nicki Minaj, she could just basically go, I'm going to put some words together and that's art because I'm brilliant. I don't know. Or her ghostwriters weren't there with her. I don't know. Like I said, barbs don't come at me, but I'm just saying it was just trash.
It wasn't good. She didn't try, but I think that's she sees other artists like that. And I think Nicki Minaj has had it. You can't co-sign. And I'm just going to say it. She's adorable. She's the cutest little thing. She's cute as a button. Ice Spice, but you can't walk around co-sign Ice Spice and then not be able to really co-sign true work. You're working in this whole thing as a king. Like you think that there's no one that can go above you. Your time. This is what I need everybody to know. Everybody in the world, we will not be popular all the time. There's going to be a time that you need to move. It's okay to move to the side. Don't act like Republicans in their seats. Listen, You need to move to the side. Let somebody else sit here and do the work. You getting older. We're getting older. There's time. Your talent may still be here. You can go ahead and do a residency, my good sis. It's about that time. Do what you need to do. You have your place in history. But there is space for other people. There is space to let other people in. And we're in a time that your psycho fans are going out to do God knows what in your name. And then we're pushing out this division amongst each other. There doesn't need to be only one rapstress. There can be other women who rap in the game.
Yes, there's plenty of room to sit at the table and eat, but
that's it. And now people out here ready to kill for you, and you haven't yet, because we live in this psychotic world, and you have yet to speak to your people to tell them to stand down. I've seen when the Barbs went crazy and she had to come online and tell them to stand down, and they did. I hate that it's like that, but this is what I'm saying. It gets super dangerous. Why are cops being involved? Why are people's lives being threatened? It's a TikTok video. Video. And then somebody literally made a video for her. This is before all of the drama. Somebody made a video saying, I don't think Nicki Minaj knows who she is. Like, she's that woman. She's that girl. And Nicki Minaj interpreted that as a big disrespect, went under that girl's page and literally started saying things like, you're a 19-year-old or something like that, sleeping with a married man, and started dropping information about this girl, personal information.
Wait, on a complete random person?
Yes. Nicki Minaj. And the girl
That's so unhinged. Wow.
And the girl was like, hey, everybody was like, she was giving you praise. She was telling you that you are the best. And this is before Meg Thee Stallion song even dropped the next day. This was the day before. And this was literally, everybody was saying, Nikki, she was giving you praise. The girl had to shut down her TikTok page because the Barbs were under there as well. You're sending people over there. This is why I say it can be very problematic to be such a huge, or people make this artist huge, and then you can shut down businesses. Not you yourself. All you got to say is Pizza Hut tried me. Next thing you know, they're going to Pizza Hut. They're throwing Barbies out the window. They're literally like outside just yelling like all kinds of Nicki lyrics. They're fighting people who have on Pizza Hut clothes. This is what it is now. I think it's super dangerous. But this is what she does. And or not only her, all of these groups of people, these stands, who's like, none of these artists are going to say your name. I'm so sorry. Like, it's going to be a small chance that they even know who you are. And you're out here willing to do time for these people.
Is it children doing this? Like, who has the time?
Not only
who has
children,
the time to do
grown
shit
people
like
with kids, with mortgages, people with jobs. They got to be
this is how you fight back, sweetie.
I gotta say, everything you just said, Rebecca, is amazing, because you could literally say the same thing about Donald Trump in January 6th.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
exactly.
And Matt, it's exactly what I said when I was in conversation with my sister. I said, hey, the stand culture is very dangerous, because I can look at Donald Trump's stands, and when he said one thing, they take out into the street with their tiki torches and stuff like that, or they'll go straight to the Capitol and they'll start threatening the lives of our representatives. They do not give a damn. And you know who won't be there? Trump, Nicki Minaj, none of them. They won't be there, but you will.
Yeah.
They want you to put your ass on the line. They have nothing to lose. It's just
same thing applies to what's his face, Tim Pool trying to push for a civil war and Jack Pacific pushing for a civil war. They were doing that, and they were posting My Patriot Supply links to their fucking prepper buckets. Like they're pushing for a civil war that they're not going to fight in to sell fucking prepper buckets. That's ridiculous.
That's just that's sick. Honestly,
you see?
It's insane. I feel like every single time I see anything from Tim Pool, there is something that has to do with like hashtag civil war. Or it's just civil war. He just says it's going to be a civil war. Why? Yeah. Why is he so obsessed with it? Like, why? Why are you wasting your time? Put the
spelled my name on Starbucks. Civil war.
More pizzazz. It's razzle dazzle when you say it. So you got to.
And then he's surprised when he has a guest on who like wants to kill people. Like,
Exactly.
He had to like take an episode of a show down because the guest what he had on
that was recent,
I guess
right?
was I guess was like issuing like real threats, And
really?
Multiple times. And then when they went back up, he's like, I thought I told you before the show, you're not supposed to like threaten people and like, tell them you're going to push them out of like helicopters and stuff like that. He's like, okay, fine.
Yeah, he made allusions to killing people, I guess.
Well, no, he flips out because he's like, this keeps happening. Guests keep coming here and they keep trying to like talk about killing people. I was like, well, maybe it's your guests. I don't know. Like, I don't have that problem. Like,
it's like, oh, you hate everybody? Okay, come on in.
Yeah,
you hate everybody that isn't right wing. Come on in. You know what I mean? You want to threaten everybody's life? Come on in. It's totally fine.
This is the video.
This is the majority part covering it, but it's fun. This is the best version to watch because it's funny.
Tim Pool is upset because something happened on the show yesterday, and he's calling out the guy who made it happen.
And he's reassessing his career.
So I'm not trying to be a dick right now, but like I've got 500 messages of like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you taking the show down? Are you fucking with us? You're trying to make money.
I thought YouTube took the show down.
No, I had to take the show down. You made 2 allusions within like the span of a couple minutes to murdering people.
Okay.
Wait,
After I explicitly stated in the pre-show, do not make allusions to violence.
Can you pause this for a second? I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. But the guy that he's talking to, is that the guy that was in the live?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure.
I'm not sure who he is. I don't care to know.
Brought this dude back onto the show?
Yeah,
that's the obvious thing to do.
What the hell's wrong with him? Sorry, I am so sorry. Sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to get the groundwork proper. All right.
Okay. After I explicitly stated in the pre-show, do not make allusions to violence, then went on to explain, we keep having people come here and saying they want people killed or people should kill people.
Press pause again. What? He just said we keep having people on here who keep saying we have to kill people or get people killed. I mean, that sounds like a you problem if you keep having those people
exactly.
on.
I keep bringing
a real problem.
You want to kill everybody.
Okay. Oh my Lord! Why does this always keep happening?
If you find yourself saying, "We keep having people come on the show,"
saying the same thing.
Who are making allusions to killing people or having other people killed and killing and fighting and killing, I feel like if you say those words about your show, you may need a deeper dive into this.
No kidding.
It's so absurd.
But
that's like
they're only there because
that's what he does.
Inviting those people, like
listen. That's what Tim Pool. His whole thing is he rides the line as much as he can with YouTube rules. He rides that line because that's what his audience is. That's how he gets the audience he gets because he rides that line so closely.
But David, I'm curious. I wonder where he really stands. Really, where he really stands politically, or what he thinks about how things go on in the world, or if he really is spewing out this stuff and believes what he spews out and the people that he's sitting across from. Because a lot of times I'm wondering, like, is he just doing this for the bag?
Oh, he's
just like, is he?
Yeah, he's been radical. I think I'm guessing, but I think he's been radicalized by the money he makes doing this. So I I don't know how deeply it is both, but he's definitely, I think he's moved to do right-wing content and has now become a far right-winger because that's where he makes a lot of money. Like it's become very successful for him. I'm not sure he really held any strong beliefs before all this, but if he didn't before, he does now, or at least he's gone that way.
I remember in the days of Occupy Wall Street, which is Tim Pool's claim to fame, and there were moments where he would clash with Antifa people who were there, because during the marches and when things would get particularly rough with police, they would do things that were obviously, illegal, but civil disobedience, and, they would slash police car tires and things like that. And he would go out of his way to make sure he would catch what they're doing and then also try to get in their face to ID them. And listen, you could agree with what their actions were or not, but to go out of your way to ID them so they get in trouble for it is obviously taking it a whole nother step. And so that's when I would think what is his real motives here, even though he's down there covering this.
Right.
And that was an issue.
Tell the teacher.
Yeah, and that was an issue with him for many years when he was still covering protests in general, even well after Occupy. He would go out of his way to masked protesters or black bloc people or Antifa people, and if they were wearing a mask, he would really try to get up close and personal, capture
so Andy knows
their
that.
faces, right? And I think that's pretty clear. Where you stand when you do that. Again, you don't have to agree with what they're doing, but and I do think as a journalist, you capture whatever's going on, but you also don't go out of your way to ID these people and get like in their personal space, because that's also fucked up. Mm-hmm. So I think he does believe these things that he espouses, but I also think he amps it up specifically because he's created this audience.
And he toes the line when he needs to. If he doesn't agree, he'll toe the line.
If you ever see, I'll see his clips because I watch like R.M. Brown. Like I can't bring myself to actually go to his channel and watch anything, but I'll see the clips, float around Twitter or like other people's channels. And you can tell when he begins to put it on, or he tries to get really emotional. Like he gets really stern and starts speaking in an angry voice. Like he puts on a show, but he's really bad at it. Like I can tell he's trying to act. Like it's like he's trying to get himself worked up over very insignificant stories, but he does it for his audience because he does it. That's how he does it to get those super chats, get that money.
If any of that is true, it sounds like a very lonely life. I'm sorry.
The whole thing that
living on top of this big ass hill with a whole bunch of money, nothing.
It's not lonely for them.
Actually,
feel like
Tim's been on video before saying how talking about how he can't, he's having a hard time finding a relationship, and it's a very funny video where he goes, "It can't be me, it's got to be all them," and he doesn't. He literally says that, and there's no moment. Yeah, there. Yeah.
So what's the equivalent of a cat lady with a man, like with the man?
Funny enough, he actually stole someone's cat that he had a business falling out with. That was the whole thing. Yeah,
I heard about that. Right. Wow, that actually made headlines. God. That actually made headlines. I remember.
Yeah, it was in Daily Beast.
That's insane.
Right.
That's insane. Yeah.
I mean,
the equivalent of Rebecca is a guy that collects skateboards. That's what he does.
He grew his YouTube channel.
No cats. He has skateboards.
Like his big YouTube moment. Like he obviously became a name through Occupy and then covering protests, getting hired by Vice and everything. But he grew his YouTube channel. Like the way he really blew up was when I think it was Paul Joseph Watson of InfoWars, Alex Jones affiliation. He was talking about no-go zones in, what was it, like Sweden or something, right? Or some Nordic country. And he said, "Will any real journalist will go out there and cover these no-go zones where Muslim immigrants are running rampant and white people can't live there in fear of their lives. I'll pay for you to go there and cover this." And Tim was like, "I'll go do it," and he did it.
He actually met with like out and proud neo-Nazis while he was there. By the way, they weren't like moderate political figures. They were straight up white supremacists.
And later on, people he partnered with to cover what was going on there came out and admitted that he had over-exaggerated and even fictionalized and some of the things that happened there. Like he over-dramatized situations and then edited it in a way to make things appear like they were happening when they weren't.
He also completely deleted an interview he made with this expert on basically terrorism and stuff, because Tim Pool was trying to ask the expert, like, hey, so basically terrorism in this country, it's all these like evil Muslims and stuff. And the terrorism expert was like, no, the threat of domestic terrorism is coming from white supremacists. Like that's our biggest, problem here is the ever-growing threat of white supremacist terror. And he didn't like it, so he didn't use it. He just cut the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't serve his audience.
But like I said, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that. I couldn't.
It's a lot of people who
I couldn't grift like that.
Candace is a grifter. I mean, we see how she did it. She went from being, on this side of it to that side of it.
NAACP,
when the money,
helping her out.
When the money starts to look good, you know what I'm saying? And you see that all you got to do is say, Trump ain't bad a little bit, and then you see how it be just raining on you. And then you're like, you know what? Let me say, Trump is it. And now you see your bank account. You ain't got to worry about nothing.
Let me add another zero. Racism doesn't exist.
Cha-ching. It's all of that.
You got a safe as big as Scrooge McDuck
COVID
out in this
wasn't
bitch.
Real. Listen, run them numbers up. Run the songs up. Nikki said, run them up. Run them up.
Back the blue. Cha-ching. You know what I mean? About it. And she's black, so it's not racist if she says it.
Well, Snoop Dogg recently said.
I saw that.
I talked about it with Mark Lamont Hill yesterday, and we talked about how Snoop Dogg stated that that Trump ain't got no problem with Trump no more, because Trump let his death row brother out of jail, and I forget his name, but former death row exec, I forget his name, but he's like, he let him out of jail. So I mean, he good with me. And this is the same man, Snoop, who was in front of the White House when Trump was president, smoking one, saying F him and all of this kind of stuff. And,
that's very true.
But here's the thing, just because Trump did that one thing for you, it does not mean that he didn't cause division. It does not mean that he didn't say hurtful things. It doesn't mean that he stood up for divisive policies that were against marginalized people that look like you. Okay. Your daughter, I believe, has lupus. Healthcare was not in her favor. Okay. Let's talk about these types of things. And so just because he did that one good one for you, there are millions of other things, and we can say them both. Thank you so much, Trump, for getting my homeboy out. But you still ain't right for what you've done. And I can't really, you know what I mean? You can still do that, Snoop. You don't have to write off everything he's done because he got your man's out of jail.
There you go.
Maybe he's afraid to put him back in jail if he says anything.
Maybe.
Exactly. So
yeah, I know you guys talked a little bit in the beginning about November. Are you guys excited? Or how y'all feeling? Is the water warm or is it ice cold? Like
feeling a little bit of existential dread. You know.
Okay. Fair. Yeah, no. Fair.
I'm right here with it. I don't know where to be, but I know that I'm gonna vote. Now it ain't gonna be for Trump. I'm gonna be very 100%, 99,000% clear. I'm uncomfortable with just this whole what it looks like for us right now. Yeah, I am. I don't like that we don't have anybody that feels like real true leadership. And for me, I don't feel like we have that. But I'm not voting for Donald Trump. I don't give a damn. I don't care. People say he put money in my pocket. Like, when he was president, he put money in my pocket. Girl, that was the Congress people that were fighting for you while he was saying that y'all didn't deserve a penny, a dollar. Okay. Don't ever forget it. Okay. So, but
I hope you're not voting for him. You wouldn't be on this fucking show.
No shit.
Listen, I'm not.
Well, actually, surprise, guys. No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
I mean, I haven't made up my mind yet. I might still vote for Trump. So
get him out of here. Not during Black History Month.
Oh, I thought it was the left-ish mafia.
No.
We've got a couple of lefties, a couple of libertarians. One Nazi.
That's David.
I was going to say that Rebecca.
Hey, I'm in Canada. I get no say on this election. I'm going to build that border on the Canadian wall. That's what I'm going to do, or the Canadian border.
Wait until I get through first.
We ain't right. Don't let none of us in there.
Let us in, and then build the wall.
Yes,
I'll think about it. But okay,
let us through, and then
We'll
put the finishing touches to it.
How are you feeling about this election season this go around?
Oh, I'm not looking forward to it at all. I'm really not. However which way it turns out, I mean, it's terrible. The options are terrible. I'm just gonna say it. I know. But I do feel like it's going to be a strong lean towards one particular person because of the reaction of the current president that we have right now. I will say that. I don't want it to be that. I don't want it to be that. And it terrifies the hell out of me because I feel like if this person, 45, comes back into office, then all hell will break loose. That's just what I really feel, because it's not how he walked into office before, it's how he left office.
Yeah.
He left in chaos. And I feel like he's radicalized so many people that those people are still out there. They're just dormant. They're just sitting waiting. You know what I mean? They're saying really quiet underneath their breath, America, and that's fine.
America.
But now when it comes and say he wins, it's going to be a bloody nightmare. And I'm not looking forward to it. It's here comes all the Karens back. Here comes all the hardcore Trumpers.
You going to the
hardcore
dentist? They got the hood on again.
Oh,
you going to the mailman? Why
it's all coming back.
You're not getting your mail because they like you're black. And like I didn't know, like my man's is back in office. In 2016 when he was elected the first time around, it was chaotic outside. When he was reelected, it was chaotic every time. So I can't imagine, God forbid, whatever it's going to look like. I can't see the future, but we do see this man he made a show. He didn't even go to any of the debates. Oh my goodness, he has so many things up against him right now. He's a criminal, like he's an alleged rapist. All of these things against him.
Say alleged.
I
think you could legally just
Rebecca,
say
he only has 91 charges.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not be hyperbolic in calling him a criminal.
Yes, I believe it with everything in me, but just for show purposes, alleged. But yes, he is that. But he just knowing that this is what people said because of what we have now. Yes, it doesn't. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like you said, Pascal, it doesn't represent. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like that it's leadership. But honestly, we have to say bringing back Donald Trump after, if we look at what he's done, what the country was like, what it felt like under his presidency, and you would say you would want that back a third time. Where? No.
Hell,
we have no, that's not right. It can't be right. And a lot of you people that are out here saying he freed Joe people, he did. You guys get the opportunity to go right back in. All of them police officers that he's gonna be rocking with, gonna be standing on the corner waiting for y'all behinds. Everybody, like, there's gonna be so much division. He's gonna say he's gonna both sides everything. He's gonna.
And on day one, he wants to invoke the Insurrection Act to literally use federal authorities to actually lock up protesters. If anyone protests him, well, you're gonna go fucking in the slammer. He did this in Portland. Like in my state, they had fucking unmarked vans just abducting people during the Black Lives Matter.
I remember covering that. Yeah,
I remember covering that too. But he did say he wanted to run a dictatorship. He wanted to be a dictator. He did say that out loud. So I mean, maybe I guess in this particular time, if he is to get elected back in to office again, I feel like he's gonna push the pedal all the way down to the floor.
Oh yeah,
and it's gonna be really it's gonna be really rocky.
So many things, with so many things. It's not only gonna be a racial thing. We see how he treats immigrants, particularly Black immigrants. What he said about them, how people go out there and speak to them, what he said about Asians, what he like, all of the stuff that this man has incited, the delusion, the misinformation, like the dangers, how we can watch somebody die at the hands of a police officer.
Right.
This is what it is.
He's just straight up quoting Mein Kampf and then being like, well, I know that line is in Mein Kampf, but when I say it, it hits different. I'm like, oh, what? That's okay.
Yeah. And it's not just that, like, we're all, we're scared. We're these libs who think he's going to be a dictator. There's Project 2025, which is a real thing. It's a 900-plus page document from the Heritage Foundation and every major right-wing organization. And they're saying our goal is to dismantle the administrative state, consolidate power in the executive, so that way this time, when Trump faces resistance from the bureaucracy, he could just say, okay, well, you're gone. There's just going to be loyalists, or there's not going to be any resistance whatsoever. And some of the policies that they're outlining are downright authoritarian. Like the goal is to designate LGBTQ people as porn and then ban porn. So that way queer people can't really be public, and anything else that they don't like, they could designate it as porn. And like, of course, there's going to be constitutional challenges to that. But if you kind of get rid of these checks and balances and you consolidate power, then what kept him in check last time is gone. He's got, like, we're getting Trump
and you
unleashed
control the courts,
this
and
time.
they control the courts already as well.
Exactly.
So he's complete freedom to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, and he absolutely is not just going to push the limits to like what is constitutionally permissible. He is going to violate that. Like, we are going to see the fall of democracy, and it's not going to feel like, oh, all of a sudden, power has been seized, and he's a dictator, he's declaring himself permanent president. Like, that's not how it's going to go down, but it's going to be a lot more subtle than that. But it's less subtle than any of us expected, right? Like, they're already saying Here's the plan, Project 2025. You can order it for free, 900-page document if you want to read it. It's going to happen, and I think a lot of people aren't really going to realize how we found ourselves in this predicament until like they're in it and they realize, oh, I don't have civil liberties to do protests anymore. I've lost civil liberties, civil rights, and you don't really know what you've got until it's gone. It's going to be one of those situations. Yeah. So it's I agree with what Pascal is saying here. It's scary as fuck.
It's scary as shit. Can I also say this? And I feel like I'm in a room or in a group of people. I can say this out loud. Hopefully there won't be
too safe space.
Say get what?
Yes,
is it safe space? So there won't be too much judgment. There won't be too much judgment.
Never. We affirm one another. We're going to affirm you right now. It's going to be great.
Thank you. So this is just a little bit of a rant. Okay. But as far as the left side, as far as possible candidates and all that stuff, I don't think that we really have somebody out there that's like standing out and exciting the left, if that makes any sense. I feel like everything is just kind of like a ground ball, and I'm still waiting for the person that's going to come out and just hit nothing but home runs. I mean, I guess that's just what I'm saying, because I have not heard anybody so far that's been so excited. What did you say, man? I'm sorry. What did you say?
Dean Phillips.
What I mean is
like the revolution, comrade.
I have yet to see somebody that we're all like universally excited about, like going, "Oh, I can't wait for this person." Right? There's just not that vibe, I feel, at all. I think
part of the issue is that. Yeah,
I
agree, and I think the issue is that there's just no primary contest because Biden's the nominee. So because he's the incumbent, he's going to be the nominee. There's no space really for anyone to really have any spotlight on them to be that person that excites. Which is why, didn't Biden say before he even won the primary in 2020 that he would run for a second term? Yeah, he wouldn't run for a second term. That should have been the plan all along. It should have been clear, open. He should be right now discussing the end of his presidency while he's endorsing whoever.
This should be
the end.
It should have been endorsing somebody else.
Kamala Harris would have been the candidate then, right?
Oh.
Yeah, if she
most likely she's pulling the highest.
Honestly, she'd probably do worse than Biden. But no, there'd have to be a proper primary contest because I actually think Kamala
Matt being frozen, cracking up.
He's back now. I actually think Kamala might be one of the few people who do worse than Biden against Trump. So I don't.
Well, then if you follow it through,
but there'd be a
Kamala,
proper primary. Is my point. There should be a proper primary.
But after Kamala, there's Pete Buttigieg, who would probably do even worse than Kamala Harris. The bench is awful. The bench is so bad.
But there'd be other people, J.B. Pritzker, and I don't know. I don't like Gavin Newsom, but maybe there'd be other options. And my point isn't any of them are great. The point is that they would definitely have a better chance than Biden does in November.
Like they're alive still, and they're breathing, and
they can speak. That there's maybe some
liable to drop dead at any
second.
Is
Biden dead? Is he? Are you trying to say
he's still? He's hanging in there. But goddamn, some of these videos of him,
some of these clips,
he is a walking corpse. I'm sorry.
He's frightening sometimes.
It's true. I was offensive.
I was watching a Kyle Kulinski video, and he was just going through Biden fuck ups, and I was cracking up laughing because hey, listen, they need to give him as much Adderall as you'd give a fucking speed horse. He is just, he is not there.
I don't like him much, but I can't get with it. But Mike can. Mike will, you're an old person, Mike is coming for you. I'm just kidding. Mike is not an age for everybody who's going to be on there going into his DMs, cussing them out. Okay? It's just bad people. Bad old people. He does that.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Every time Mike walks out of his house, every old person gets a shiver. It's like,
well, listen, if that old person committed a genocide or did an atrocity, yes, I will hope they die. Okay, guilty.
That's fair.
He don't like them. He don't play. They will not stand a chance against Mike, and I appreciate it. But honestly, I don't know with this whole situation when it comes to the president. I mean, we'll see. I'm definitely not going to whoever I speak to who needs help trying to figure out who to vote for. You can't tell me that you're voting for somebody because they gave you a stimulus check and they didn't even give that to you. That was the people in the background working for your congressmen and women.
But his name was on it. Trump's name was on it.
He couldn't wait. Remember, he couldn't wait to sign it. He could not wait to get the photo op to be like, just y'all get that good side, just so he can sign it and then say that was like when you get that check, my signature will be there. Okay. And it was like, okay, we still need more money. We're gonna have to figure out the rest of these years. You gave us that one little check or whatever, and we're gonna have to figure out the rest of our lives. So and people did. Some people didn't get the opportunity to do that. Some people died. It was a lot happening around that time. But here you were, signing off on loans for your friends and them. Okay, while people was dying and homeless and didn't have no jobs and food was expensive and we were out there protesting, putting our lives out on the line. Okay, let's not forget it. So I need people to understand that. Don't let that little stimulus check or the extra stuff that you got from the child tax credit fog up your mind. Please don't. Okay, because there's more to that. We need to know what this person stands for. Historically, in this country, it was division. It was problematic. It was dangerous having him as president. Okay, he wanted a dictatorship. That's what he wanted to run. He wanted to split things up by color, split people up by color. We
he's a lifelong racist.
Exactly.
That's what he's been known for his entire life. The only altruism Donald Trump's ever done was taking out like a full page ad to blame the Central Park Five and say they deserve the death penalty. That's what he spent his own money on, a full page ad to say kill kids basically because they happen to be black kids. Like that's Donald Trump. That's who he is.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've kind of become so accustomed in this country to just accepting nothing that when we get crumbs from the government or people in power, it's like, oh my God, like things are changing. It's better than nothing. It's crumbs. That's better than nothing. I can still eat with crumbs at least. It's something.
Yeah.
And so I just wish that people would, because and I've been really frustrated with voters lately. Like I don't like to blame voters, but everybody's complaining about things not getting better, but then when you have the opportunity to vote for somebody who would actually change things, we never do that, right? It comes down to Biden and Trump, and it comes down to some corporate Democrat and some fascist Republican every single time. And part of the problem is that, yes, we have a two-party system, and so it's always going to produce these types of results that are undesirable. But generally speaking, when we have options, we've got to take them next time, right? Like we had 2 times to vote for Bernie. Not saying he would have been a panacea. I probably would have been critical of him as well. But there was Biden and Bernie. I think the choices are pretty clear. You know what I mean? And so
some of the issue is just on that point. Like some of the issue with is it like the primary process. It's some states are closed states. A lot of people don't really pay attention till the general, which is like I don't know how we change that, but there has to be a way to change that because if more people pay attention during the primary process when they have options, then they'll be, maybe a little more excited to come to, or a little more willing to, participate in politics generally.
And and also if we're not feeling whoever is, leading the country, also look at who's going to be leading you locally, statewide as well. Like figure out who that person is. Does that look good for where you're living? Like figure out what their policies, what they're running off of, because that's going to be something you have to look at too as well. So I think that, with that being said, and it may be in the party that you're voting for. So then maybe, okay, I'll vote for this person. And locally, what does that look like for me? Maybe that is a better option for you. You don't know, but you won't know unless you don't research and you don't look. Don't take it. Please don't go and take it from the internets, from these hip hop pages that's owned by white people, white rich people, kids, Nepo kids. Don't do that. Don't go on Twitter and go off of one discourse. Like go into your community. Figure that stuff out. That's really going to be super important. And that's going to help probably lead you to where you're going to vote. But don't go off of what's in the shade room or on Baller Alert or whatever the case may be. Solely. Have your own opinion and do your own research and, look within your area. Because just because this person is living on that side of the world and they're telling you to vote and what does it look like locally for you? Like, it may not look the same. So, do that as well.
Yeah, part of the problem is that the Democratic Party has not reached out to these communities. So if they've never gotten a call or a text from the party, even the local or state party, then they don't know. They think, okay, well, I got this stimulus check with Trump's name, so I guess
where are the commercials?
That's my support.
Where are the commercials? Remember in 2020 when it was real nasty and we saw commercials, we saw vehicles, they was going hard on the internet, they was on everybody's pages, everything you can think of. They were really going in the year for the 2020 election. But now I don't see them fighting. I don't see them using their little dollars for nothing. I don't see anything.
Yeah, I'm sure it will ramp up.
Isn't it after the primaries when there's probably gonna be a lot more there?
No, but they were going hard in the beginning. Well, just literally the whole time. So I knew who people were just because of that for the whole year leading up to it. I just knew. I never was so informed about who was running, people's nasty business, all kinds of stuff. I never was so informed about that. But now I think they're doing it on purpose, like you said. They're not calling, they're not getting people out there, they're not getting people ramped up to vote. They know that our morale is down as well. And to prevent people from going to vote and pushing it more towards that other side to be beneficial there. I believe that it's all strategic. So
yeah, I think that the important thing to keep in mind too is a lot of people, they're not going to be making this decision between Biden and Trump. Like a lot of this, at least when it comes to more like left-leaning, liberal-leaning people, it's going to be whether or not they come out to vote or not, or stay home. I think Charlemagne put it the best. Like it's a competition between Biden and the couch, right? And this is what Democrats have known forever. Like it's always a matter of mobilizing people to get out to vote, because the Republican Party, their base is very fixed. It's the same people every single time voting for the most part, right? Until they get old and they die. But for Democrats, they have to get people mobilized. I mean, Stacey Abrams essentially flipped Georgia blue by just registering hundreds of thousands of new voters. And she almost won the governorship despite all of the voter suppression. So the problem is that Democrats, first and foremost, they're not doing well just when it comes to organizations at a lot of like state levels. Florida, horrible Democratic, like so many state operations are fucking terrible. And then on top of that, you have a candidate like Biden who he couldn't mobilize young voters to save his fucking life. Every single policy tailored towards young people blew up in his face. You know, when it comes to debt cancellation, that got people off of their asses for sure in the midterms. The problem is that the Supreme Court struck it down. And now, you know, he should be pursuing his authority to cancel debt under the Higher Education Act of 1965. That should have been what he did at the beginning. They still probably would have struck it down. But like, you have to keep trying to find ways to subvert that, because Trump wouldn't just stop if the Supreme Court struck him down. He'd try it other ways. And so he's just like canceling around the edge. Like, you have to get young people excited. And one of the easiest things to do is, aside from like policy wise, is stop doing a genocide, number one. I don't think they're going to be excited, but they just won't fucking hate you. But two, you have to use your pen. There's a lot of things that you can do that will get young people excited. Drug decriminalization, like descheduling marijuana. It's just, he's so stubborn and so set in his ways that I don't even think the Democratic aides could change his mind. And a lot of these Democratic aides, like, they're fucking stupid. Like, Democratic Party strategists are some of the dumbest people on the planet. Because it's like, it doesn't matter if they win or lose. They're still going to have jobs.
They just dumb. They just
yeah,
dumb.
It's easy. Like, the formula is easy. Register new voters. That's all you do. Stacey Abrams just showed you can do that and turn the entire fucking state blue. Now it's trending red again. So it's like, I don't know. They know the answers. They know what they have to do. You know what I mean?
Right. But it's strategic. They're doing this on purpose. They're making sure, like, okay, listen, the morale is low. We're not going to be really pushing. I know people who have been doing the work alongside Stacey Abrams here in Georgia, who have been outside, Cliff Albright in France. Like, they have been out here, Park Cannon, Renita, like, they've been out here doing what they need to do, even giving up their seats to try to push for something better. And being dragged out, fighting for voting rights over here, because and we know that this has been happening, but look at Georgia right now. We don't see much of that. We don't see much of the fight anymore. It's not being televised. But it's out there. But they're doing this strategically. They're making sure to limit the eyes on it, to keep the morale down, to not get people fired up until just about the last minute, and that's what they're going to try to do. That's why, whoever's watching this or whatever y'all can do, whatever please inform yourselves properly. You have time, but make the right decisions. Don't go off of just what was nice to you then by opposition, whatever. Please, like, do your research and do the right thing.
And don't vote for Trump, otherwise you're stupid. I'm sorry. In 2024, if you vote for Trump, you're just fucking stupid. I'm sorry. You don't have to love Biden. I fucking hate Biden. But if you vote for Trump at this point in time,
Joe,
you're dumb. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I have family members who are like, "Oh yeah, I'm voting for Donald Trump specifically because I know he's going to destroy the country, and that's how I think we'll get to like better accelerationism." Yeah, like that's like it's also, and these are stupid people. So just like stop. God. Don't rationalize it. Just don't vote for Donald Trump. Like, I'd rather you not vote than vote for Trump, right? Because at this point in time, it's a matter of like democracy. Either you think we should live in a constitutional republic or not,
or vote for Marilyn Williamson. Don't vote for Trump.
What Chink? Yeah, what name Chink? The TYT.
Oh yeah, the TYT guy. Yeah, Chink.
Like, you got options. No, don't even put him in place. That I don't like none of them. I don't like one of them. So
I still like right now.
Listen, here's what I would do if I lived in a swing state. Not a question. I'd suck up and vote for Biden. It sucked, but I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Vote for Biden in a blue state or a swing state. Stop Trump from winning. Stopping fascism, priority number one, always. But if you live in a blue or red state, it really doesn't matter. Like, I might throw my vote in Oregon to Claudia de la Cruz. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, stop fascists. That's the best thing that we can do to materially make a difference in our lives. Yeah, and don't just stop fascists at the top of the ticket. Vote out fascist senators. Vote out fascist House members. There's like, if you just
concentrate on down ballot measures, those are always very important. Tons of
you could have some Nazis on your school board level.
You don't
vote those fuckers out.
Mm-hmm. By any means necessary.
What might be?
Yeah.
You know, one thing that really motivated me was the strippers saying, "Get your ass to the pole."
That was a good. See, that was like 2020. It was a good time.
That's working.
Good time.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that
was
spoke
a good time. To me as a black man. Okay.
And when I heard Pokemon go to the polls, that spoke to me as a nerd.
There's something that will resonate with you. There's something that will resonate with you.
Get your ass to the pole. You know? Hell yeah.
Bring back those type of commercials and ads. Those will get people worked up and
vote or die.
Do people even watch ads anymore?
Not
People have ad block on. No one watches TV. Like, where do you see anything?
Not really.
We need ads like in Brazil.
Tubi for free.
Yeah,
there you go. For free. Yeah, there's commercials.
In Brazil, they have to do the most batshit insane ads because on the ballot you have to put in a number for a candidate. I think it's a 4-digit number, so they have to do things to get you to remember them. So there's like commercial. I remember there's a commercial from like it's 2017 era. I don't remember, of like a guy dressed up as a clown. Vote for the clown, and he had like his fucking number. They have some wild ads. People should just go to YouTube and type in like crazy Brazil ads, and this shit will be fucking like it's gonna blow your mind.
You be finding some crazy stuff. That don't even be your business, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways, we know Rebecca's getting tired. She works tomorrow.
Please.
So.
Please. Give it to him, baby. You already know.
It's time for those super chats. Pascal, you're welcome to stay, but sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
Lance.
Well, I was gonna say let Pascal do promos before.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yes. Promos.
I'm
you plug yourself.
And help you out.
Yeah. Well, for 3 cents a day, you can give me a bowl of rice. So please go check out the Pascal Show on YouTube, youtube.com/the Pascal Show. If you like true crime, pop culture, that kind of thing. Please, trending news, of course, as well. Please go over there and subscribe and be a part of the chaos over there. It's a lot of fun. You know, I appreciate you guys letting me be on here. It was a really, really good time. You know,
loved it.
Great having you on.
Yeah. Love to come back again sometime.
Yeah, we'll have you back on. For
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah. And then you guys got to all come to the show too. Like get on the
and
show.
I have yet to come to your show, which is very interesting. I've been on everybody else's show, but yours.
Rebecca.
You've been on mine a couple times.
We tried to link something up like 17 years ago.
And it was real black. It was real black of us to be like, next week, the next week.
Yeah, we gonna do that, and then nothing.
And then no, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up, and then never hit him up. Okay, okay, so we'll figure it out. Okay, we'll make that happen.
I forgive you. It's okay.
I didn't say sorry, but I apologize.
Yes, there you go. Yeah. Jesus loves you. Remember that. But yeah, again, thank you guys for letting me be on. I had a great time, and yeah, I'm gonna hop off.
Do it again.
But
yeah,
let me know next time. I'll be on time.
Okay, kind of. You gotta kind of be on time.
Okay,
don't listen to me. Be on time.
We're never up. Yeah.
There's no time here. It doesn't matter.
Bye, Pascal.
See you guys.
Bye. Take care.
Peace.
I don't know, Rebecca. Are you saying I'm gonna leave too? So I was gonna say a goodbye, but happy super chats to you all.
Oh, bye, Lance. Love you, mean.
Do you have any super chats, Lance, or anything?
I have something from Tokyo Hans. He subscribed and also said, checking the chat indicator to see that it works. And is Tom McDonald the evil Drake from the Mirror Universe? And
evil Drake?
I would say no.
Yeah, no, I'd probably not. But just the connection being they're both Canadian. But
there's a lot of Canadian rappers who aren't Drake and him.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Like who?
Shout out to
Belly.
Chaos,
Belly.
Cardinal.
I like me some Belly.
I have no idea.
Yeah, Cardinal Official, of course.
Right.
But yeah, no, there's a handful. There's a handful. Anyways, here's Rebecca's first chat. Here you go, because we know you got to go.
All right, guys.
Bye, Lance.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Take care, Lance.
Tokyo Hans as well. Rebecca, just want to let you know that you are great. Thank you. I'll be trying to feel it. Today wasn't that day, but thank you for that. Thank you. Smokey Rose, 888. Defunding the police makes sense when we watch them drop the ball. Uvalde, or that's the kids' elementary school, or deflate the ball. Tamir Rice was murdered last year this day. I remember Tamir Rice, and that was all the police is doing. So yeah. Archangel. Is it Archangel? Because I be feeling like, see, English ain't my English ain't my first language. I do this with Ben all the time. Just such a journalist, but English ain't my first language, so I pronounce words so differently. So it's Archangel. Because okay, thank you. All right, so I feel so bad for you, Rebecca. I hope it gets better for you. Keep doing what you do, and I love listening to Like It or Not each Saturday. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and I'm gonna be all right. Thank you. Shadow of Lugia. I don't know, but one of them shadows. To compensate for that awful police experience. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Wanda M. We love you, Rebecca, and I love you back. Mean it. Andrew S. About wage theft. My dad was fired after he discovered that his employer was cutting his wage by 50% for 2 years. Hope this chat helps you, Rebecca. Thank you so much. But that is terrible. They cut his wage by 50% for 2 years, and when he found out, they fired him. You see? Criminal. I hope that your dad was able to bounce back or is bouncing back. I wish all good things to you, Andrew. And thank you. Xavier Bacall, thank you so much for your super chat. Logan Hill, come on, chat. Let's try to get rid of Rebecca dealing with BS tax. Listen, it ain't no joke, but thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you. Karen, Seren?
Probably Seren.
Okay.
Some generous super chats.
Yes, they are very sweet. I really appreciate it. Y'all been being so nice to me for these last 2 weeks. Hope you get rested up and are soon back to feeling safe and 100% your amazing self. Thank you. Love from Oklahoma. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Archangel, once again, that's Sue. Okay, that's Sue from Archangel. Rebecca, I love your takes, both here and on your channel. I love learning about issues in the Black community that I would have never heard of. I look forward to Like It or Not now, and you back and forth with Ben is awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Verna Rochelle, democracy will win because we've got the leftist mafia. You put all of that in us? Seriously, the smarter people are on our side. Now, I hope so too.
And here's the last one.
Okay. Marcy, thank you so much. Here's a little, because I love you. Super mooches. Rebecca, kisses back to you. And thank you so much, Marcy. Before we get out of here, I want to read the cash apps I got because I did get that. Yusef Henry, thank you so much for yours. Sayla Lewis, thank you so much for yours. And Aaron Bocher. Sorry so much. I'm sorry, Aaron. Thank you so much for your PayPal. I really appreciate it. Listen, everybody, I'm gonna be all right, and I love you. Listen, I love you. Mean it. Even if it's a super chat, not a super chat, it could be subscription, it could be a follow, it could be a share. That is all very important to me. Love you guys so much. Mean it. I love all of you here. Thank you for always supporting me, guys.
Love you too.
And I will see y'all next Thursday. Love you. Mean it. Bye,
Good
guys.
night.
Good night.
Bye.
Oh,
I hate when they do.
I know.
Every time that
no
happens.
one wants to see us. No one wants to see us that close.
Why did they even exist?
No.
All right, I got like 5, so actually maybe like 4. Rebecca cleaned up tonight, though. 4 is probably my worst, but it's okay. I'm fine. I'll be fine. Tokyo Hans. Yep, the chat indicator system seems to be in order. Yes, it does. Lawn Gnomes, once I find you. $20 super chat.
Well, there you go. That's why. That's why, because your people are sending so much money. What do you expect? $20. I mean, 20 times 4. That's like $80 right there. That's a whole super chat night.
I don't have 3 more of these though.
Well,
Lawn Gnomes says got cold call with a fundraising letter from the Friends of Police chapter here. Probably just a coincidence they've got some legal bills coming up to suppress the courts from reviewing the chief's racist Twitter rants. Well, I'm glad you decided to send that fundraising money to me instead of the Friends of Police. Much appreciated, Lawn Gnomes. Erica, scrolling. Canadian journalist Mansour Shuman taken by IDF. Yeah, I saw that story. I think Trudeau finally said something about it. But yeah, I have my video yesterday covers like the whether it's the Canadian government or Canadian media in the wake of the ICJ's ruling on Israel. It's just been like I'm not sure what I expected from the Canadian government, but it's been absolutely just terrible. The statement they released was like the statement they released about the ruling brings up Hamas, which has nothing at all to do with anything, and then mentions how Hamas is using human shields, which again has nothing to do with the case at all, nothing to do with anything, and then mentions, oh, we're also concerned about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Doesn't mention that Israel is committing the crisis, is creating that crisis in Gaza. It's even worse than I expected, honestly. It's good to see, we have the NDP here speaking up, but they're not the opposition; they're the third party. So it's very terrible times right now in terms of how our leadership is dealing with all of this.
Your video on that
could
was
always
really
be
good.
worse. It could always be
thanks.
worse. You could be your government could be the United States. when it comes to Israel, I mean,
yes, it could be worse. But it's just, I don't know. I would hope that we would have something a little better than that. That's the wrong one. I gotta find JCast. Oh no, there's the right one. Sorry, did I get this one? Get your passports ready, y'all, and let's meet up at David's house. I'll get the salsa and chips. Who's bringing the potato salad though? There's not quite room here, unfortunately. But I appreciate the thought that you would be able to escape to my house. The issue, I think it's hard to get to Canada generally as somebody who, from what I understand, again, haven't looked into this because I am Canadian, but my understanding is it's not any easier to get, to live here legally as it is in the U.S. Maybe a little bit easier in terms of going through the bureaucracy that the U.S. has, but it's not easy, I should say, to do it.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
But
I've looked at it.
There you go.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Soren, a family friend plays for the Winnipeg's Jets. What? Who? I'm not a Jets fan. I'm a Leafs fan. But I would still like to know who your NHL playing friend is. That's pretty cool. And K2 Chai, $20 super chat. Didn't expect that.
Look at
Thank
that.
you so much.
Yeah, you said you didn't get. It was the only one. Yeah, right.
Thanks for all you do. Oh, this one came late. Thanks for all you do, Dave and Leftist crew. Thank you so much, Kate, for appreciating me and everyone else that gave super chats today. Thank you so much.
20 is just flying into David. I guess they don't call him Andrew Jackson for nothing.
Nobody calls me that. I've never been called that ever. Anyways, I am spending the night sleeping, and then tomorrow when I wake up, Persona 3 Reload comes out, and that's what I'll be playing.
Oh, so does it?
I am super excited. I love Persona 5, and I never played 3. So it's going to be great. Good night, everybody. And if you haven't subscribed to my David Doel channel, youtube.com/David Doel. I do occasional live streams there of games and other stuff. So check it out. All right.
Goodbye. Everyone subscribe to the David
Doel channel. Take care, David.
Yeah. Peace.
All righty.
All right. Now the real fun starts.
The official Super Chat show.
No, now Leftist Mafia begins. This is where things get wild. This is the show.
Specifically because we both get like progressively more tired throughout the evening, and then by the end of the show we're completely incoherent.
Losing our mind.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Here we go.
Alrighty, Tokyo Hans, 500 yen. Just testing out that chat indicator system I mentioned last week.
That's for me. Thanks for reading my super chat.
Oh, right. There's okay. Well, then, do you want to read mine? Because I got one from Tokyo Hans too.
Yeah, sure. Let's switch it. MF, just checking the chat indicator system over here seems to be working well. Carry on.
I guess the MF and MB should have like given my brain the cue, but I just saw Tokyo Hans and I'm like, I have a Tokyo Hans coming up, so.
Right. Well, maybe you saw MF and you're like, oh, that must be for Matt. It stands for motherfucker.
Exactly. Although now I'm realizing this is his to David. I did not realize that.
He made me choke. Oh my god.
That's an interesting.
David also didn't get my Andrew Jackson, which is also in the same vein.
Oh my gosh, Tokyo. Okay, so I also have a $1. I think it's a super sticker, but it's not showing up from Smokey Rose. Thank you, Smokey.
Super stickers don't show up on StreamYard.
Yeah, I hate that, but I appreciate it, Smokey. Okay, and then we have this one for me from Kaya Damon 999. Thank you so much. Hey Mike, I recall last week you've read Bobaverse. I actually just got this series on Audible. Nice. Have you finished the series? Also, Ray Porter, the narrator for Bobaverse, narrated Project Hail Mary. Oh, I didn't know that actually. I'm about to finish up book 2. Yeah, I should finish it probably this weekend. I did not know that though. I didn't read I didn't hear the audiobook for Project Hail Mary. I just read it, but that's interesting. Yeah, I'm glad that you got into you're getting into Bobaverse. I'm curious to know what you think of it. I'm loving it. So that's awesome to hear. Okay. This one is also for me. Perfect Slappy, $4.99. Thank you so much. Hey, Mike, you have an awesome beard. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm growing my beard like yours. You amazing man. I hope Senpai notices me. Well, I notice, and good luck on the beard. Make sure you get a really good beard oil so you can stop it from itching. Okay, so
Omega with a super chat. This one's for me. Yep. Omega with a super chat. Hi, y'all. Mutual aid for Cosmopolitics. She needs help with rent before the 5th. She's been a staunch leftist and pop culture streamer and generally great person. I believe she's been on Leftist Mafia before, right?
She has, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone definitely go check out her channel. And when she's on, throw her some bits or... I don't know if she does YouTube. I think she just does Twitch. I know she's on Movie Night Extravaganza on YouTube. But go check out her Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Cosmopolitics.
She's a great leftist. Yeah. Love her. I think this is you.
Archangel with a super chat. Have you guys seen how it looks like Biden staffers are blocking Muslim people from his rallies? Kyle Kalinske reported on it today. So pathetic. I've seen it in passing. I have to look more into it.
I did a video on this too.
Oh, is it legit?
Yes. So there were 2 hijabi women outside of a Harris event, and they were just inexplicably denied interest and not told why. So Biden's rapid response director responded after it went viral and said that it was because they were at other protest events or at other events that they protested, so they were disrupting the event, and that's why they weren't denied entry. The problem is that they didn't tell them that, and by the time anyone had an explanation, the video went viral. And so it was a bad look. There were people outside of the event with them saying, "Can you just let them in?" Just face plant from the Biden administration right now.
I mean, well, they're done in Michigan. I mean, I don't see.
Oh, they're so fucked. Yeah, I'm with you there.
And if they lose Michigan, then they literally cannot lose like Georgia and Arizona and any of the offbeat states that usually go red that they won last time around. Pennsylvania, you know, they really backed themselves into and for this one, there's no one to blame but themselves.
Exactly.
This isn't. I've went through this a million times now. This isn't.
Yeah.
Oh, the left wants the world and couldn't get it through Congress and blah, blah. Yeah, I don't even agree with that, but at least you have that. What is the excuse here? There's nothing. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. And
they'll try to blame the left, but this is all on them.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I have a problem with I know you said earlier stop fascism or whatever, and I agree for the most part. But again, if you're someone who's Muslim or Arab or Palestinian,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, this is the fascism. This is the worst case scenario. Right. I mean, I view it the same, honestly. I mean,
I would never tell somebody who's seeing their family get bombed in Palestine, suck it up and vote for Biden, even if you're in a swing state. No, because that's so different. You know what I mean? That's so that's so.
I know you. I know. I was just bringing up how
it's a good point though to make.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not in that predicament. So that's the calculation that I would make. But if you're an Arab American and you have Palestinian family members dying, I don't blame you at all. And nobody should get voter shamed unless they're voting Republican, regardless if you vote third party or whatnot. It's a difficult, shady decision. We don't have a lot of options, but
I will say I have seen some people suddenly, people who are pro-Palestinian and not some far right winger using it as weaponizing it to spread their anti-Semitism or whatever. I've seen legit pro-Palestinian people, sort of, and not many, but some with name value, who are suddenly putting, and not necessarily just pro-Palestinian, I should say, people with Arabic or Muslim background who are politically active. I've seen just a few people say maybe when you compare Trump and maybe Trump won't be as bad on this, and I think that's just, at worst case scenario, they will be the exact same. There is no scenario where Trump will be better than Biden on this. If Trump wins, he will continue whatever Biden does that we've seen, if not ramp it up even worse and let Bibi go absolutely worse, even more bonkers. And it's possible. It is as bad as it is now, and it is really bad. It could, and I'm not giving this to. I'm not saying you got to hand it to Biden. They've done shit, but I'm saying Biden will, Trump will even ramp shit up to absolute fucking crap.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one who moved the embassy to Jerusalem and gave them Golan Heights. I mean, this.
Right.
I absolutely agree with you. Yeah. Okay, I think this is for you.
Is it for me? Let me just double check. I want to make sure. This is not for me, no.
Oh, okay. This was for Rebecca. I'm sorry. Okay, so we go to the next one, which would be from me, which is from Asa Rosa, 199. Thank you so much. I feel like Dick Cheney is the worst U.S. politician. You know what? I tend to agree with that. The worst living one, for sure, right? I'm trying to think of other individuals, but yeah, I mean, this man is the architect of the Iraq War. Yeah, you know what? I agree with you, Asa, for sure. Okay, I think this is you, right?
Oh, I don't know what's going on my internet. I have no idea why this is happening, and it only happens with StreamYard for some reason. It also happens on Majority Report every now and then, which is another one that I have to use a browser-based streaming thing for.
Oh, really?
But on my own, So it's got to be a Chrome issue. Something's up with my Chrome or something. Because otherwise, when I use my own stream or when I play Fortnite, I do not get dropped like this.
I get issues like this from time to time myself, but sometimes it just corrects itself. I'm also not connected directly, like I use Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I do too, and the problem is I'm so far from where the modem is.
Yeah,
so
same.
I would need to literally pull out the ladder, get an Ethernet, a big ass Ethernet cable, and wire it throughout on the wall throughout the house to get it in here, which I'm probably gonna have to eventually do, but it's just gonna be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And it is Chrome. Yes, I am using Chrome because you have to use Chrome for these streaming services. They say you need to use Chrome for StreamYard and for the one that Majority Report uses.
Yeah.
Again, this is not for me.
Okay. Let me go to... Sorry, I need to make sure I can't remember the David and the Rebecca ones. Okay. I'll just click them all.
Yep. Click them all. If I don't see them, if you don't see them, we move on to the next one. Tokyo High, super chat. The police never prevent crime. They show up after it happens since they were busy at the donut shop. I mean, yeah, they don't. I mean, like, my story was obviously nowhere near as bad as Rebecca's. The reason I brought that one up is to show that even, like, for people, for like, even people with privilege, white privilege, the police don't fucking do nothing to actually stop anything or save you or be your security. Like, people were comparing the security that Cori Bush has to hire to, like, oh, you don't get security unless you have money. Yeah, you don't get security from the police either. They don't do shit. They come afterwards, and either they can do nothing to stop the crime, they're there to clean up the mess, or you got to call them to get the paperwork, like I said. And so I didn't get a chance to say it before because we got so distracted by other stories. But yeah, the reason I did not have to pay for those tickets my stolen car received when it was stolen, because I reported it as stolen and got the paperwork. That is the full purpose of the police in the vast majority of your everyday situations, to get the paperwork to prove something legally. So in case you have to fight something with some agency, or you have to actually go to court to prove something, you have the official paperwork from the police stating as such. That is their entire purpose for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
This is for me. The Matt Mercy with the super chat. If American soldiers are deployed to Palestine, and what flag is that? Is that Iran? Is that Libya? Or Jordan? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I think it's Iran, right?
I know the Palestinian flag, and I know the Iranian. I think that is Iran.
Yeah, it's Iran. Yeah.
But the last that third one, which one is that? Is that Jordan or?
Let me see. No.
That is Yemen. I think.
Mm.
Or Iraq. Yeah, it's Iraq, I think, maybe.
Okay.
Do you really still buy? It is Yemen. I'm sorry. Do you really still buy the poverty draft excuse? It's hard to please ignorance to genocide in 2024. What are you talking about? The poverty draft excuse?
I'm not sure about the wording of the question. It's a little bit confusing to me, but the poverty draft, in essence, it's like it refers to how poor people usually have to fight and die in these wars.
No, I get that, but I'm not sure.
But yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure what the question is here. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I don't understand as well.
I mean, I will never really blame someone who feels like they have to do it. Because they have no other options, because you just don't know what their situation is. And I got to say, a lot of immigrants, first-generation immigrants, come here and they join the military because they have no other option. So, I do think it's... I wouldn't blame them. I mean, they're also preyed upon.
When they're really young, too.
Yeah. Military recruiters know who to go after.
Yeah.
I would say they're definitely... If you're going to blame people, which I wouldn't blame anyone, but I would say, like... I wouldn't focus on the poverty draft people. I'd focus on The bigger focus would be like the comfortable video game streamers who military recruiters go after on like Twitch and stuff. Like like, what are they doing? But I wouldn't blame them either, because again, they're being preyed upon. But I think I wouldn't focus on the last people I'd focus on is poverty draft.
Right. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. This one is from Infinite Content. Thank you so much for the $5. The cops and that tow company are running a fucking racket. Sorry that happened to you, Rebecca. Yeah, the whole situation is so fucked up.
Oh yeah, it's the whole industry is so fucking bizarre. Like the tow truck industry and their connections with like police and parking lot like owners and like the weird like and the price gouging too with what it takes to get your car back and things like that. It's all yeah
and you have no choice. It's so fucked up.
The only good option for a tow truck if you're a regular person though is honestly if you're a driver, if you don't have AAA. I feel like I'm promoting AAA, but honestly AAA, as someone who's only had old jalopies, used cars that break down all the time, AAA has saved my ass. It's like $60 a year, and you get like 3 or 4 tows a year for those in those.
Yeah,
$60.
honestly, yeah, you're right. AAA does totally come in clutch. Worth it. Yeah. James Bishop, $20. Thank you so much. My goodness. I love the police statement I used to get all the time. Mr. Bishop, we think that we have a warrant for your arrest. At the time, they never did. I only ended up with one in my life, and it was for an overdue library book. Jesus Christ, they gave you a warrant for a fucking library book? God damn. Yeah, I mean, they are liable to lie. Yeah, it's a fucked up system.
Archangel. I find this right-wing... Archangel with a $20 super chat. I can't get past that. I can't let that just slide. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Archangel. $20. Call me Andrew Jackson. No, please don't. I find this right-wing conspiracy of the Swift Kels... Is it Kels or Kelsey? What is it? Is it?
It's I don't Kels. Know this.
Kels. Okay, I find this right... I'm asking my resident sports expert over here.
Yeah, I'm all about... Ask me any other questions about sports. I'll answer them. I know.
I find this right-wing conspiracy of the Swift Kels psyop that after the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, that Taylor will endorse Biden and Kels proposes utterly ridiculous. Where do these idiots come up with this? It'd be hilarious if this exact thing happens, actually.
Oh, I would love it. Oh, my God. I think that the person who came up with this is Vivek, honestly.
They're so obsessed with it. It is very weird and bizarre. Like, they have nothing. They are... No, it's Kelsey. You're wrong, buddy. It's Kelsey.
It's Kelsey?
Everyone in the chat's saying it's Kelsey, yeah.
I did a video on this, and I thought I pronounced it wrong, and then I double-checked, and I thought, no, I said I did it right. Okay, so I stand corrected.
Uh-oh, did you put out the video?
Yeah, but it's just a mispronunciation. It's not a big deal. I fuck up everyone's name, so... I pronounced it as Kels, and then afterwards, I'm like, I have to look it up.
You pronounced it as Kels on Super Bowl Sunday. They'll pronounce it as man and wife, husband and wife, I should say. So I mean, I mean, it's. Listen, Taylor Swift makes catchy music. Kelsey is apparently a very good football player.
Are you a Swiftie?
She has good songs. I wouldn't say I'm like a fan. There are people in this household who are fans. I mean. I like her music. I don't shut it off when it's on, but I also don't go out of my way to put it on.
I think I'm there with you too.
She's clearly talented.
Right.
You don't make that many hits. Like literally, like every song I hear of hers is like, this is a single that would make an artist's career on its own, and then they're all from her. Mm-hmm. They're good pop music. I'm not even a pop music fan, but it is what it is. I'm not I could recognize what a good song in a certain genre is, even if I'm not a fan of that genre. But I mean, is she like bigger than any music star in decades? Probably. I mean, I don't know what's behind that. Clearly, she has a label behind that. I know early in her career, her father spent a lot of money to make her big. You know, the people have connections or use money to make connections. But I mean, it's not like she's someone who sucks and is just going by on that. And you know, she's huge now because of all the songs she's put out. And I do think that whole thing that happened with her and her album, the master rights to her album being sold without her permission, that made her, I feel like, when she like redid the album on her own to own the music, I feel like that like made her transcend into like diva status. Like I don't like that word, but that's what they use in the music business. She's like, you know, beyond
like legendary.
Like, yeah. And like, you know, it is what it is. I mean, of course there's money behind it and major labels and corporations pushing her and getting coverage for her. I mean, at this point, I don't think they even have to do that. She just gets it on her own. But like the whole idea that they're doing this because of Trump is just like ridiculous. I mean, they're obsessed. They're obsessed.
This was genuine. Like I did a video about this, as I said, and there was one tweet in particular that was so funny because they had like a picture of Taylor Swift side by side with Travis Kelce in a Pfizer ad, and he had like the Band-Aid on, like he had just gotten the vaccine, and you know, that's like an extra layer to it. It's like, oh, Mr. Pfizer and this Democrat. It's just the whole situation is so funny and absurd. But it's not like they're like when I first saw it, I assumed that they were just like shit posting and memeing. But no, they genuinely believe that Biden rigged the NFL so that way they could have this magical moment where he wins the Super Bowl. They kiss and he proposes, and then they both endorse Biden. It's so fucking hilarious. They should like actually do what they are saying they're gonna do. That would be fucking hilarious.
It would be, but you know what's gonna end up happening? If they win, he's gonna end up taking the Mickey Mouse money and saying he's going to Disney World. You know, the usual stuff. I mean, that's really what's gonna happen. I'm pretty sure. Like, obviously, if they win, she'll be out on the field, and that'll be a big fucking thing. The media will be all over that and get those photos and videos. But I mean, I don't think there'd be anything beyond that. I mean, people will obviously blame her for trying to overshadow the Super Bowl win with her being on the field, and they're gonna blame her no matter what, no matter what happens.
They just don't like her because she's a liberal.
Yeah. I mean, and she's like she's just you know. I do think I that she should use her status to push the Biden administration on Palestine. She should say, "You want my endorsement? This is what I want." And I know she's attended. She attended. I forgot which comedian.
Oh yeah, you talked about this a couple weeks ago.
A Palestinian aid fundraiser in Brooklyn that was hosted by a big comedy star. I forget who though. I mean, that's what she should.
If she does that, I will stand her forever.
Respect. Yeah, I will. Yeah. I will then say I'm a Swiftie.
I'll buy a fucking T-shirt and wear it on the Humanist Report.
Right. That's what she should do.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think this is so stupid. But one thing I am enjoying though is that conservatives have a choice. They either support Taylor Swift's team, or they hate that liberal so much that they need to go and support their opponents, San Francisco.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do, conservatives. Either you're a Swiftie or you are supportive of liberal San Francisco, the 49ers.
That's amazing. Okay, here's one for you. Got a lot for you actually coming up.
Yeah, I'm a sort of a big deal nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't know. Admiral Stewie with a $10 super chat. Tom McDonald and Linda Paulson are what happens when the universe tries to balance for white rappers like LP and Marlon Craft. Yeah. I think I really do think like people who have like alternative style, like with all the tattoos, or like they try to like dress like you know, super like punk or rock and roll, or you know, or they try to dress like they have like hip hop style, but they're conservatives. It's like that's the lamest thing I've ever seen in my life. Who you fooling?
Yeah,
like,
because you're not counterculture.
that's cultural appropriation.
Absolutely, yeah. It's very cringe. It feels like they're being posers.
There's no world where any alternative music or subgenre, because they always try to be like alt hip hop too. They never try to be like mainstream, like party hip hop, like, you know, like in the club hip hop. They always try to be like all like you know, like straight up like rap hip hop with like a message or something. And that stuff, I'm sorry, that stuff will always be steeped into like a leftist or progressive ideals. You know, fuck the police will always be steeped in both punk and hip hop when it comes to like the legit alt underground scene of either genre of music. You can't be pro cop and be making like hardcore hip hop or punk rock. I'm sorry.
Well, Baked Alaska would beg to differ. You know, he did
I know.
We love our cops.
Nothing's more poser than that. No one's
Do
more
you remember
poser
that
than
song? That shit is still wild to think about. If anybody hasn't seen it, there's a song by Baked Alaska, and he did a music video for it, singing about the cops in autotune and how much he loves them. Like, we love our cops, our law enforcement. It's fucking wild. Just if you haven't seen it, check it out. Or don't give him views, but like, it's so funny. I think this is David Doel, right?
Yes, that was.
Okay, so the next one would be Letter Hack for you.
Oh, it is the Letter Hack with a $10 super chat. A live redirect like a Twitch raid is the ability to send all of your live stream viewers to another video or channel, but your channel settings need to allow it first. Beat the algorithm. I see the redirect option. I see the redirect. It's not as nice as the raid. They really have to make it more like a raid. But in your live stream settings, if you go to customization, you can add a video to redirect to. But like, you know, you need to make sure that the channel is live, or you can redirect it to a regular video too, I think.
I didn't. But I've never even seen this, huh?
But also, it doesn't tell that channel that you did that, as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
So like, it sort of defeats the purpose. Like, obviously, the purpose is to send those people to your viewers to another show. But the thing that's so nice about the raid is the reciprocation of them letting that other show know this person sent their viewers to you, and they shout you out, and it starts a relationship there instead of it just being like a one-way thing where you're just sending people there and they have no idea where they came from.
Okay. For you, I think. Here we go.
Okay, it gives a pin notification? That's weird. Because I've done that for my own channel when I do the Scam Economy uploads and I send people to the post-show call-ins afterwards. I've never noticed that. I'll try it for sure. I'll see who's on after, and I'll try it for sure. Bob Carmody with a membership super chat. No one's written a diss track about me. And yet. No one has done it yet. Not for me.
I believe this is for David or Rebecca. But
if you don't see it, if you don't see it on, you didn't read it?
I don't think they read it, right? It's not at least ringing a bell for me.
Yeah, so go ahead, read it. Read it.
Yeah. Lizzie Bennett, $5. I've listened to Nicki Minaj's Bigfoot. It wasn't even an outline or a rough draft. It sounded like she was brainstorming over a beat. Yeah, it was shockingly bad. Like, I don't know what she was thinking there.
For rest, I've been, for that part of the show, which was a big bulk. People probably noticed I was pretty quiet. I have very little knowledge of what's going on between Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion, right? Megan Thee Stallion, excuse me. But I do know that Nicki Minaj's husband is a sex offender, isn't he?
Yep, and her brother, and she's friends with them. 6ix9ine, he's another rapper who is, I'll just say sussy to not get into that, but yeah. And she also anti-vaxxer. She said that Ben Shapiro's rap was not bad.
I did see her promoting Ben Shapiro. Like, I don't know what her deal is. Like,
what the fuck is she doing? Like, she needs to chill. I think that what Pascal said about like the mental health problem, like, to me, it kind of feels like she might be going through like a manic episode. And if you watch some of her Instagram live streams where she was like complaining about Megan Thee Stallion, like her behavior was very like, not to play armchair psychiatrist, but it didn't seem like, it seems like there's something wrong.
I do remember in 2016 or 2020, no, in 2020, when Cardi B came out for, and Cardi B is great. When Cardi B came out for Bernie Sanders again, I do remember that Nicki Minaj followed it up with endorsing Joe Biden. This is
Andrew Cuomo.
No,
I'm thinking of the Cynthia Nixon Andrew Cuomo.
Oh yeah,
Cardi
and
B,
then I think this happened again. Yeah, in the
I forgot about,
this happened before that, right? With the governor race in New York City too, where Cardi B came out for Cynthia Nixon, didn't she? Right, and because Cardi B is great. Again, she's got good politics. If you've seen some of her interviews, I mean, you could tell
she knows her shit.
She said she enjoys like politics and political science and history.
Love her.
And Nicki Minaj came out for Cuomo. I mean, I don't know if she even knows anything or she's just doing it based on the pattern there to like spite Cardi B, right? Yeah, like I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to see them do like a political debate. That would be funny. She'd get destroyed by Cardi. I'd love that.
Stuart says, doesn't Cardi B love FDR?
Yeah.
But that's for the internment camp stuff, not for the progressive stuff. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, she's done like streams just telling her audience about like specific policies and the New Deal and stuff like that. Cardi B is just incredible. Her music is incredible. Her politics is incredible. I fucking love Cardi B. I love Megan Thee Stallion. I'm team Megan and Cardi. Love them.
Foresto with a super chat. Tim Pool doesn't stand for anything. He sits for everything. It's everyone else who's supposed to stand for something. Right.
Oh, you know what? Okay. Breaking news here. I just got a text.
Got breaking news.
Business Insider article citing Travis himself says the pronunciation is Kels.
Oh, there we go.
So I would like an apology, motherfuckers. I'm just kidding. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. Okay, Foresto. I think this is this is
for
you
me
also.
too, right? Yeah. For us with another super chat, a total of 10 smackaroos. Thank you.
Nice.
Foresto. Did you guys see the video of Muslims being banned from a Biden speech, even though they had invitations just because they were wearing hijabs? Yes, we just spoke about it. You probably missed it.
Yeah. Or did we already?
No, this is okay. They just missed. That was a completely different person.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go. I lost connection for a second. I hate this. It's so annoying. I spoke about how Arabs and Muslims and Palestinians have every right to if they don't want to vote for Joe Biden. I mean, there's no shame in them there. That's totally legit. I mean, no shame. I'm against vote shaming, period. But I mean, if there's anyone who has a reason to not vote Joe Biden, it's certainly them.
Okay. Colt Dog, I think this is you.
Let's see. Colt Dog, yep. Member for 6 months. Membership super chat. Mainly need to worry about taking back the House and maintaining the Senate. Right. Yes.
Agree.
Let's get some. I mean, really, yeah. We're not gonna really expand the Senate. Maintain it. It's the best we can do. Taking back the House, right? That's gonna be. On top of taking back the House while also securing the Squad. The Squad is facing a firestorm that they have never faced before. I would say Ilhan Omar. No, Jamal Bowman is probably the one who is most critical because he's the one who's going to face the hardest battle, followed by Ilhan Omar. Then probably Summerlee, although I really do think Summerlee is safe.
I think Ilhan is second most vulnerable.
Yeah. Cori Bush, AOC, and Rashida Tlaib are fine. I really don't think
agree.
But we could very well lose Jamal Bowman. which would be horrible, especially being that the guy who he is primarying him absolutely sucks.
Yeah. He's like almost exclusively, or not exclusively funded. His biggest donor, I should say, is AIPAC by a mile.
Wait, Wanda says Bowman, Bush, Omar. Cori Bush is. I know she's gonna have a strong primary race, but is she really in? Is she really in danger? I didn't know that.
Jesus, yeah, this will be really hard to see them lose their seats because they really are the best congresspeople we've had ever. Like literally, like I know that they're not perfect and I have my criticisms, but without them, it would be so much worse. We'd have literally no voices of opposition when it comes to a lot of foreign policy issues and whatnot. Yeah, Wanda says she thinks so. Yeah, so I mean, follow it closely. Like if you live in one of their districts, absolutely try to do your best to phone bank, text bank, send them a couple of bucks because yeah, we can't afford to lose any of them. Okay, this one's for you from Jay Cass.
Jay Cass, great episode of Doomed yesterday, going through Vince McMahon's monstrosities. Also, Cost, you said meat stick a couple of times. For people who don't know, meat stick is not a improper reference to anything involving Vince McMahon in a very serious episode. We were talking about Slim Jim and how basically it took Slim Jim, WWE's biggest sponsor, to basically say they were backing off sponsoring the Royal Rumble for Vince McMahon to immediately come out and resign from the company. So that's the meat stick we were talking about, not anything improper. But yes, David Bixenspan, great journalist who covers pro wrestling. And there's not enough people who seriously cover pro wrestling, an industry that very much needs serious journalistic coverage. And we went on for like 2.5 hours, really getting into the weeds here. So if you're a wrestling fan or you're even just interested in what like one of Donald Trump's best friends is up to, it's certainly an episode to check out.
All right. I don't remember if we got to this one. If it's not yours, then I think it's one we got to through David.
Yep, that's for me.
Oh, it is okay.
KD Damn it! Am I back?
You're back. Whenever you freeze, I freeze as well, just to be in solidarity. I don't move or say anything.
Got it. Katie, damn it with the super chat. I think we've been spoiled. We haven't had anybody half interesting since Bill. Our parents had to vote for Mondale or McGovern. I mean, Obama was interesting when he ran.
Yeah, I
got to vote for Obama. I mean, my first vote when I first came of age to vote was John Kerry. So I mean, there should be no complaints from anybody because
that was your first vote, really? Obama was my first vote. So that was it was like a really exciting time. I was super excited and he won, so I felt like I was on top of the world and invincible.
I turned 18 in 2004, so it just worked out perfect. So
I'm 1 year later, so I was 17 then.
So you missed out on voting for John Kerry, a vote you would never forget.
I missed out on voting for John Kerry. I didn't get to vote for the criminalization of gay marriage in Oregon, which happened that year on the ballot, and it passed, I believe.
All right, let's continue.
All righty. Asa Rosa 199. We need a Bartlett presidency. Who's Bartlett? It's a character, right? It's very late, so my brain has turned to mush officially. So chat will have to help me out. Bartlett. It sounds so familiar. Do you know who Bartlett is? West Wing?
Is it? Yeah, I think it's West Wing.
Oh, okay. It is okay. Asa confirms it's West Wing. Okay, I figured. I haven't watched West Wing, but I've seen a lot of clips. Look,
too many people in this business have West Wing brains. So to not have it on your to not watch West Wing is probably worth it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. It's an Aaron Sorkin show, isn't it? if I'm thinking of it correctly, the same guy who did Newsroom with the dialogue that's very contrived. But there are some good clips that I saw of West Wing that I liked. But yeah, I haven't seen it. Okay, let's get to... Oh, this one is for David, so let me scroll past that. Okay, so we have Wanda. Nice to see you, Wanda. $5. Thank you so much. Mike, you make a great point about down ballot issues. I hope LM can cover some ballot issues in swing states as the primaries come out. Yeah, I would love to. I usually, after elections, I'll go through like really interesting ballot issues that pass. And I try to do it beforehand if there's like a really interesting one. But the problem is that with the election, there's always so much happening that it's a struggle for me to keep track of it all. But yeah, if there's something interesting, never hesitate to tweet at me or something, because I do want to cover what's interesting. We have a gifted membership here.
Thank you, Morbius Dragon, for the gifted membership. Appreciate it.
And we have one for you from Wanda.
Wanda with a $10 super chat. Matt, Letterhack had John from San Antonio on his show. Maybe he could come on Leftist Mafia as primaries roll around. Yeah, that's a great idea. We should have him on for sure. Thank you, Wanda.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting tired. Okay. Rolando Capayea, $9.99. Thank you so much. Hi, Mike. Would right-wing media still be as obsessed with Taylor Swift if the Kansas City Chiefs did not reach the Super Bowl? Or is it because they fear the influence of young women in elections? I think that they would still be obsessed with Taylor Swift because they've been kind of like bashing her for a while now. Just a couple of weeks ago, actually, there's a big segment on Charlie Kirk and his podcast where they were just like shitting on her relentlessly, saying that she's not even that attractive. Charlie Kirk was asking, does she have any eggs left? Like, they've been harping away. That's an actual thing he said.
She's 34. What's wrong with these people?
He unironically said that. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. They don't like that she was able to utilize her Instagram to get a bunch of people to vote, like tens of thousands of her fans registered to vote. So ever since then, they've been shitting on her. So I do think that even if it wasn't for the NFL situation, they would still be shitting on her because they kind of view her as a political threat because she has a lot of influence.
I just want to point out, obviously, that it's disgusting they even bring that up, regardless of her age. But the fact that she's also so young makes it disgusting from them. Like they perverted from them. That's what I meant.
It's so deranged. Like I did a video on this. Like if you're interested in checking it out, the conversation is fucking just wild. It's so deranged, and I know that that's not surprising coming from Charlie Kirk, but like, yeah.
Does Charlie Kirk even have kids? Does Charlie Kirk have kids?
I don't think so.
No. So
it's
listen,
so
so many of these right wingers who claim to care claim to care so much about children, and claim to be so pro children, and we need to have more children in the world, anti-abortion because we need more children in this world. So many of them don't have kids themselves. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's crazy to me how they judge other people's looks too. Like Charlie Kirk and his cronies, they're talking about how they think Taylor Swift isn't hot or she's ugly or something. Actually, yeah, I think they actually said she's ugly. It's just these people are so fucking immature.
You can say whatever you want about Taylor Swift's music or what you think about her talent or anything like that, but she is an objectively good-looking person. Like
objectively. It's insane that they would act like they would say that. It's so stupid.
Right. Yes.
Okay, I think this might be for Rebecca. I don't know if she saw this. So we'll read it for her. Catpink, $10. Thank you. GA Pal here, you're super right about the car insurance. Had the same issue, very different outcome because racists can't miss a chance to engage in racist ass behavior. I'm sorry that was done to you. Yeah, that is so insane to me that you can have car insurance and then still be penalized for it, even if you prove you have car insurance because of like some, I guess, bureaucratic issue. Like that's insane to me. Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry, let me go through this one here.
Logan Hill with a $10 super chat. Thoughts on covering YouTube ad scam about health subsidy payouts and scam economy? Thanks. I don't know what you're talking about actually. Let me look this up. YouTube
ad scam.
Ad scam health.
I'm gonna get some water really quick while you look that up. I will be right back.
Well, I'm going to move on because I can't speak to this because I don't know about it. I have to look more into it, obviously. But thanks for the heads up, Logan. Where are we at? Let's go to the next super chat. I don't know if these are for Mike, so let me go to my next one. Narrator with a $10 super chat. Don't say if you are Muslim or Palestinian. You don't have to be an Arab to empathize with your fellow human being. Right. Basically, I'm just saying that if you are, directly, if you have family in Gaza, I mean, no one has a better reason to not support the current administration than you. That's all I mean. I mean, that's just objectively true. But yes, I mean, I obviously I'm not Muslim or Palestinian or Arab, and I 100% stand with them in terms of the humanization that they're all feeling, because that's what's going on. Clearly, they don't matter, or at least don't matter as much to this administration. And, I am obviously 100% pro-Palestinian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that sentiment, narrator. Okay.
I don't know if Zero is this one for you or was this for someone else? Because I skipped over to that one.
Yeah, pretty sure. Yes. Okay. Zero PE. Thank you so much, Zero. $4.99. Did y'all hear about Biden announcing sanctions against Israeli settlers? Looks like he's trying to save face, but I don't think it'll work. Yeah, I did hear about that. I think it's a great move. Objectively speaking, hell yeah. The problem is that any credit that he thinks he's going to get, he's not going to get it until the genocide ends. Like, you can't. There's no way around it, right? Like, he can try to do all these additional things, but it's just like he has to stop the genocide. So I tend to agree with you, Zero PE. If the genocide stopped and he put an end to it and then he announced sanctions, maybe he could begin to repair the bridge that he burned with the with young people in the Arab American community. But until this stops, period, I agree with you. I don't think it's going to work. And then I have one from JCast, $5. Thank you, JCast. Did you ever get around to trying tres leches for dessert yet? No, I haven't. I'm having it again tonight.
It's
Wish
delicious.
You could try some. The second I have the opportunity to, I will try it and I will report back. Corey Quillman with $4.99. Thank you, Corey. What's up? Vancouver, Washington. Mike, hey, I love Vancouver. Thank you for your content and much love, brother. Hey, thank you so much. I haven't been to Vancouver in a very, very long time. The last time I was there was, I think, like 2017 or something. I don't know. I don't even remember. Oh, I think it was because my dad was in a Vancouver hospital. I can't remember. But yeah, I love Vancouver. It's a great, great city. Archangel with $10. Thank you, Archangel. Mike, hearing you love Bobaverse perked my ears up. I love this series and I love the Audible books. Keep going and you will love the series. It is awesome all around. Hey, I'm glad to hear that there are so many people who love Bobaverse. I'm really enjoying it. So far, it's like my favorite book that I've read probably since Project Hail Mary. I love it so much. It's so fucking good. We'll have to get Binder to read Bobaverse or listen to the Audible. It's very, very fun. I think this one's for you.
J Cass, strictly for Binder's fun to get better internet. I don't think it's my internet. I don't even think it's my Wi-Fi. I think there's something on my computer or with Chrome. I have no idea. But it doesn't happen on my PC when I'm playing Fortnite. It doesn't happen when I'm using my streaming software for my own show, on my, Doomed or Scam Economy. So I got no fucking clue what's going on.
Do you have Mac or PC for the computer you're using now?
I have a Mac.
I have a Mac too. Part of me wonders if it's some sort of like a Mac problem with.
It happens to you too?
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Do you see
it hasn't been as bad lately.
On StreamYard, next to the live button, do you see the little Wi-Fi thing show up and it says bad connection?
No, I don't get that.
That's what I'm getting.
Oh, okay. So then it does say. Yeah. So do you remember, like, I used to sit on my other area with the, like, this screen behind me. But I had to switch because that computer was giving me problems, and every once in a while I have to switch back because I get the freezing situation, and I'm not sure why. I've never been able to figure it out. And I never see the bad connection thing. So for me, I always assumed it was like Mac fucking up because it's Chrome. I don't know though. Like I'm not tech savvy, so I'm just speculating with my boomer logic. But yeah, it is frustrating. Okay, so I think this one is for me. Chris Corcoran, $10. Thank you, Chris. If Biden does finally call for Israel to stop a big if, I could see Trump pushing for the bombing to resume in his campaign. Could that push people to vote against Trump? I mean, it's possible, right? I think that, if people have a reason to actually, like, if this is their number one issue and they actually see a real difference between Biden and Trump, I think it could mobilize people against Biden, not because they like, or against Trump, I'm sorry, not because they like Biden, but because it would make a material difference. But so long as there's like no meaningful difference on this policy, I don't see it happening. But yeah, I think that it's an interesting hypothetical, Chris. I'm not sure. Let's hope that it does stop though. J Cass, it's Kels. It's not Kels, it's Democrat. Okay. Narrator, $20 super chat. $20. Thank you, narrator. You don't blame military service members for the overall actions of the MIC any more than you blame bank tellers for human trafficking and the proliferation of drugs. That's basic understanding of systemic power. Yeah, I agree. And same.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it the same way you did, but I said that.
We're getting tired, so the way that we say things, you're gonna have to like put two and two together and connect the dots. You know, when you have like a kid or like a niece and nephew, and they're like 2 and they're starting to talk, and strangers can't understand them, but the parents can. You're gonna have to be the parents, and you're gonna have to connect the dots for us sometimes when we're this late streaming. Because I'm more tired than usual. But okay. We're almost done here. So we have Lydia Rose with $1.99. Thank you, Lydia. Or no, this is for you. I'm sorry.
Yep. Thank you, Lydia. Nothing is less punk rock than being right wing. Yep. Yeah. 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 So Ren with a super chat. How has Nicki Minaj not been charged with some sort of crime for saying Ben Shapiro's rap was good?
Right.
It's so obviously, auto-tune or computer assisted somehow. Like he very clearly is just talking. Like it's so obvious, and they auto-tuned it or something.
Yeah, and what's funny is I did a video about this on my second channel, and one of the comments was like, Ben Shapiro in that last verse, he's literally rapping slower than he talks, which is such a missed opportunity. I'm paraphrasing the comment, but it was a really good comment. It was just, well, like, how can it be that bad when the one thing that he has is he can talk really fast? Like, holy shit.
Right.
He has no rhythm. This one's for you.
Looney Tunes 9000 with a super chat. If Leftist Mafia gets Matt of the Letter Hack, I'd be happy. Has Letter Hack not been on before? I think
he was on. Yeah, we did a debate stream with Letter Hack. Yeah. But I mean, of course,
we'll have him back too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to come back for sure. But yeah, we did have Letter Hack. We love Matt. Okay, this one is the Lydia for me. Lydia Rose, $1.99. Thank you, Lydia. I gave Binder a hi. Wanted to give you a hey, love you. Oh, well, thank you so much. Love you too.
You don't got to do that, Lydia. You can just send more money to me. You don't have to spread the love.
Okay. Shy Guy 778 with £5. Thank you so much. Hey, sorry I'm late, but have you read the news about Leonid Rasvinsky, the owner of OnlyFans, is the largest donor to AIPAC? Check next super chat. Oh, okay. I have heard this. I saw.
Wait, quickly check next super chat though. Let's see. Let's finish the.
Well, it's not relevant, so I'm. It's this one, so I'm assuming it's not.
No, maybe next super chat from that person. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I was kind of looking ahead, and I don't see.
Well, take this super chat.
Oh no! I'm sorry. Next super chat from them.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, I didn't look.
This one's for me. Yeah. Please cover Shy Guy 778. Please cover the story by David Sirota's the lever if you haven't already. Rolling Stone, OnlyFans owner pledged $11 million to Israel lobby report. Now you have something to say about this, Mike. I'm guessing you're familiar with the story. I briefly saw it appear on my feed, but I'm not too. I didn't get a chance to read it yet.
Yeah, I just heard about it. People tweeting about it in headlines. I have not read the story, but yeah, it doesn't surprise me. You know, powerful people are going to do shitty things. But yeah, I'll have to look into that. I didn't have a lot of time to do a lot of news reading today. But yeah, I'm gonna try to catch up.
I did see that he tried to deny it at first, and then when they showed him the APAC submitted paperwork or whatever, like the documentation, he stopped responding to them.
Yeah, does he not realize that you can actually see these things? It's all public. Like, what an idiot.
I mean, just get off OnlyFans. There's other options out there. Don't use OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Don't use OnlyFans. It's super simple. Like,
well, I mean, at the same time,
platforms, those platforms are you could really push those platforms because they're not offering you anything but a spot to put membership stuff. It's not like it's hard to stop using Twitter because it's a community. Everyone's on there. It's, you have to get everyone to stop, but you can't. But with OnlyFans, if you're a creator, just move your stuff somewhere else and your fans will just follow you there. Like, that's the whole point for them to subscribe.
It's probably hard though, because
channel.
like OnlyFans is probably like the biggest one. So
there's other ones out there.
It'd be like us moving from like Patreon to like some other. It'd be probably pretty tough. That's the only problem.
People are leaving Substack, and
are they?
Some big newsletters have left Substack. Now, I'm not saying don't start a Substack because I think Substack's a little bit different. It's a platform. It's more in line with Twitter than OnlyFans. But people have left and moved their subscribers over.
Yeah, or see like if there's an alternate way to support a creator that you're following on OnlyFans, maybe try to find that. I'm not sure though, because I don't know the particulars. But if you can,
when it comes to adult content, there are so many more options than mainstream content. You have like there's like 10 different super popular like live stream sites where you like and like they all compete. In the mainstream, you got YouTube and Twitch pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole different.
What are their names? You seem to be more familiar with it than me. I'm not familiar with it.
Well, there's a few
people know.
There's a few that I don't know if I can name them on Twitch or. I don't actually use any of that stuff because I don't pay for that stuff because there's so much on the internet for free. But if you ever go on into those sites, you get ads for like Chatterbait and Live Jasmine.
Live Jasmine, I've seen Live Jasmine ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Now we come to this one here.
The Matt Mercy with the super chat. No options, flipping burgers over unaliving foreigners. Well, some people can't even get hired doing that. It's a tough world out there. It's a tough market.
Yeah, a lot of people also, when they sign up, they don't really know what they're getting themselves into. Like my friend, he signed up for the military. We were coworkers, and that was like he didn't know what to do. He tried everything. He tried to get into like he wanted to be a pastry chef and shit like that. Everything just fell through. So he joined the military. And when he got out, I talked to him. He's like, that was like the worst decision I ever made. Like, the recruiters really sell it up. They make it seem like, you're going to have a great life.
Also, a lot of these people get recruited with the idea that they're not battlefield soldiers. They're engineers.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Or tech people, or they're working the kitchen even. That's what they're told they'll be doing.
Yeah, and
yeah, like the military pastry chef someone brought up, right? They're not really, they're not unaliving foreigners. They're they're making cannolis on the SS whatever.
yeah, no, and I don't think that my friend was ever deployed in war, but he did, like, he was stationed like in Germany for a couple of years and came back, and he was like, yeah, it was awful. And then he had mental health issues. He ended up unaliving himself last year too. He had like really bad depression after coming. It was it's very predatory.
Was not for me.
Oh,
if it's not,
this one is for me. Okay, this is for from 180 Chan, $5. I'm sadly going to my 14-year-old niece's funeral tomorrow. Hug your loved ones and take care of yourselves. Oh wow, my condolences. That's got to be really, really difficult. I'm really sorry. Yeah, I will do that. Love to you and your family. Okay, I think
this is for me. Matt Mercy with the super chat. Nah, narrator, you pull the trigger, you're a killer. Yeah, but what if you're just filling an eclair with cream? I mean, what if you're cooking the tacos for Taco Tuesday on at the military base? I mean, you're not. Again, we're not. A lot of the people who get recruited aren't those three people. Those three soldiers the three military soldiers or members who died in Jordan, I think it was, right? Is that
yeah?
They weren't soldiers. They weren't combatants. They were engineers. I read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so we got that one. We have read that one, this one.
Angelo Henry with the super chat. What's the stupidest thing you saw at CES? I have to go with WeHead, which was, it was like a phone here, a phone here, a phone here, a phone here, and they were attached. I'm just showing you, like, there wasn't a human face behind it, but they were taped to shape a human head. And an AI generated person was there, and you stood in front of it and talked to them, and they would give you AI generated responses. And it looked weird. It looked creepy. It didn't look natural.
It sounds really stupid.
It's called WeHead too. And also, the AI generated responses absolutely sucked. I was like, hello, how are you? No, I was like, hello, how's the weather in New York? And it said, as an AI model, I'm not connected to the internet, so I don't know exactly. I cannot answer those questions. So I was like, okay, fine. So I go, okay, hello, how are you? And it responded, as an AI, I have no feelings, so I cannot answer that. I'm like, what the fuck is the person? Like, just pretend. I thought the point was for you to act like a human.
I love how you asked it like completely normal questions when my first instinct would be like, hey, do you like the smell of farts or some dumb shit like that? Just to see what it says. You gotta really test it.
Hey, what are the 10 biggest adult live stream platforms? Computer, give me some alternatives to OnlyFans.
Yeah, right. You got a couple from Lydia.
Lydia with the super chat. Here's another Binder. Love you. Thank you so much, Lydia. And another from Lydia. $5. Jeez. Thank you so much, Lydia. One more for a fellow punk. Bought tickets to see my fave, Laura Jane Grace, in Philly next month. She's great. And I've heard rumors that Against Me is going to be doing shows again, which I would be very interested in checking out. Against Me is one of my all-time faves.
Oh, nice.
Reinventing Axl Rose, I think, is a from beginning to end perfect album. We were talking about how Taylor Swift knocks him out of the park every time. Reinventing Axl Rose is a perfect album, period. Whether you listen to punk or not, check it out. Against Me.
Okay, it's Against Me is the band.
Yes, with an exclamation point at the end. Yes.
Okay, I'll check it out. Okay, and last one from Lydia Rose for me, actually. Thank you, Lydia, $4.99. You've been very generous. Thank you so much, Lydia. I joined the Army a bit after high school. You're dead on. Very long story, but they put you where they need you. Yeah, that's exactly it. And like for me, I remember them, like they go into high schools, by the way, to recruit you. I remember as a teenager working at Subway. I was 16 and they were like, hey, you're going to come down and join us? Like it's so predatory. And if you don't know any better, it might be alluring to you because it's a career when you don't really know what you're doing with your life. The only reason why they weren't able to get to me was because I had two brothers who were in the military, one in the Army, one in the Navy. And they're like, don't you ever fucking join the fucking military. I don't care what, just no. But otherwise, like it's a lot of promises that they make to you if you're young and you're naive and you don't know any better. So that's how it happens. But yeah, that's the last super chat. We did it.
Commander Lydia Rose of the Punk Rock Battalion, quick. How many studs are needed on this vest? Let me know, quick, for the sake of the military. We need to get these studs on these vests immediately.
I like that.
All right.
Over on Twitch.
Twitch.
Yeah, thank you, Valinova, for the 100 bits. Really appreciate that.
Is that all? Are you gonna say anything else, or okay?
No, that's it.
I got Spoops for Days. Subscribe at Prime. Thank you so much. Risky Biz, resubscribe with Prime. Subscriber for 12 months. Woot woot, y'all, says Risky Biz. Thank you so much. A whole year. Thanks. Valinova cheered 500 bits. Thank you, Valinova. And the Serfs TV rated me. Thank you so much, Serfs TV.
Love
for
the
Serfs
Serfs.
TV. Yeah, for Serfs TV viewers, what we do here on this channel is a little thing called Leftist Mafia. Every week, myself and 4 other leftists get together. I'm just being...
I love how every week we have the same jokes where we start the show and we're like...
That's our thing,
That's what we like to do. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to rate Tiffany Starr?
Who's Tiffany Starr? I don't even know.
Tiffany Starr on Twitch. She's playing a video game right now. She is a leftist, and she's also a video game streamer, and she's a sex worker. She's a really cool person.
How is that spelled? Tell me.
So it's TIFFANYSTARRXXX.
Oh, she's straight edge.
Oh, and thank you so much. Have fun for the tier 1 sub.
Laugh at that. Okay.
Wait, what did you say? I'm sorry.
I said she's straight edge. Oh, okay.
What does that mean?
The triple X's can either mean that you're straight edge, meaning you don't drink or do drugs, or it could mean you're a porn star.
Oh, I didn't know that was straight edge.
It's an adult thing too. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Oh, there's one last super chat before we leave here. I think this is for me. The Matt Mercy with $2. Thank you. Engineers for what? Cooks to feed whom? Camden. No, I get what you're saying, right? I understand that, like, you know, I do get what you're saying, Matt. But yeah, I'm just saying it's a little bit more complicated, and especially if you're young and you haven't even thought about war, and they're telling you you're not going to go to war, you could do this. There's plenty of fields in the military. It's just one of those things where they really take advantage of young people, and it's really and poor people. It's really unfortunate.
Right.
But
I just think, you know, if you're gonna blame someone, you should, I think, reach for the people who are doing the
the people who pull the levers of power, for sure. Yeah. You don't want to blame the individuals. You really want to blame the institutions here.
Because what's gonna stop it, actually? Going to each individual and saying don't do this, or actually going after the people recruiting? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
One, you're never gonna get to everybody, and you're never gonna stop the actual issue. The other, you actually could cause some inflict some change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, folks.
All right. Well, are we ready to raid?
That is the show. Let me.
He froze at the last moment. There you are.
Patreon.com/MattBinder if you'd like to, and also YouTube.com/MattBinder, Twitch.tv/MattBinder. You know where to find me. I'm clicking start raid.
And thank you, Have Fun, for the nice message on Twitch. Appreciate you. All right, you all ready?
Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
All right, we are out of here. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next week.